O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This is...
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed. The viewpoint statement. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, tell me how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? We doing good? We good? We got the audio. Tell me. Let's see. Silence, no sound. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The sound of silence once again. We hear you. We're back. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Right now, no Canes in pre-post. Not yet. I am working on finishing off the Dolphins first, to be quite honest. Once I'm done with the Dolphins, we have our title sponsor for the Dolphins season. We now need a home, and we're working on trying to finish off a home. So once I get that done, then I'll work on Canes pre and post if we do it. Um, I 7 days a week was not a lot of fun last year. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know if maybe if I end up doing the Canes, I may not do the pre and post. I may have a group of individuals do it instead, and I'll just kind of run it, but not do it because I did not enjoy working 7 days a week last year. To be quite honest, it's a lot easier for you guys to just say it and hey, go do it, and this and that, but I'm a human being, and I need some kind of a life and something to breathe a little bit. By the way, not for nothing, but just to kind of throw it out there. Shauna, we've been at this over 2 years. Have I taken a vacation yet? No, no vacation. You haven't seen me off for a week, and we've been at this over 2 years. So once I get to a point, I'd like to also take a week off too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, 7 days a week is not something that I'm really looking forward to. So I don't know how I'm going to handle that, but I'm going to do Dolphins first. I think that's the priority. That's always the priority on this platform. Will always be Dolphins first. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to work on figuring the Dolphins out first, more than anything else. Right. What else? No, these are not LGBTQ glasses. This is autism, my man. Autism is what it is. But I don't. If it was LGBTQ, would be perfect. I have no problem with that. Supporting that too. But it's autism. Let's see. Yeah, you need to take time off. Yeah. Notice that the only times I take off is what I bring in a concert. Like last week, I went to Atlanta for a couple days, and I kept doing the show, but I went to go, enjoy the Cure because, dude, if I'm gonna work all the time, I'm gonna, enjoy myself. You know what I mean? This year, I didn't go to the Vegas Summer League because I'm gonna go to Zach Thomas's induction. I got something else planned that I can't talk about yet, and then uh, I'm also going to Montreal to go see Metallica. And I'll still do the show while I'm in Montreal, but dude, I got to go enjoy myself. And one of the things I enjoy every day is my wife and the dogs at home every day. And that's a beautiful thing. That's therapy for me, to be quite honest. And then the other therapy for me to keep my sanity is music. And so I got to treat myself to certain events. You know what I mean? So we'll be going to Montreal in a couple of weeks and having some fun there. So looking forward to that. But I am kind of looking forward to, at one point or another, take a week off. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, if everything goes well this year in the next 12 months to 18, we're expecting, then you know, then I think I'm going to be able to enjoy some time off. I'll be able to kind of exhale a little bit more, if I'm right. So we'll see if I'm right, and we will find out. By the way, you saw inflation went down to 3%. You probably did. It came out this morning. Inflation's down from 4% to 3%. Went down a whole percent. Core inflation, which is the important one, even though these numbers are all fudged and they're not really accurate, they're really higher than what they say. But whatever. The mathematics and the formula changed and all that. So, whatever. But core inflation went from 5.3% to 4.8%. So, maybe they don't give you a hike the next go around here. Maybe they hold off. Look, I was telling my buddy this the other day. I kind of, you can mark this, save this if you want, Sean. Mark it down as a prediction. This is what I think is going to happen. Feds keep us tight into next year. Early next year, they start to loosen up and lower rates. And then markets are going to explode in 2024. Those of you that invested in the stock market or crypto or whatever, man, that it's going to explode in 2024. Okay? Which is what's in 2024? Something called what? An election year? Yeah. And so by the end of the year, everybody will be feeling good. And there you go. So they're rigging this thing and setting us up, and so you'll see. Mark my words, you'll see next year. Yeah, it'll start loosening up towards the end of this year. The fourth quarter will start getting better and better and better, and then 2024. Those of you that are investing stocks, crypto, you're going to enjoy the fruits of your not of just your investment, but the fact that you stayed strong in the process through an incredibly long bear market that went over 18 months, maybe 20, 25 months by the time everything's done. And then it's just going to be, a bull run that is just going to explode. But, it's Yellen, Powell, Warren, and Biden. They're playing this thing like a fiddle, dude. So, mark my words, you shall see. You shall see what's going on. But good news today. Good news today with the with inflation going down. We certainly need it. Yes, I saw Reyes' 2 hits on 2 pitches last night. Yes, I saw that. That was actually really, really cool. Rosendo says you deserve it. I'm gonna give you a month off. Okay. All right. Yes, yeah. You guys, what happened there? The camera went off? Okay, but they can hear me. All right, you guys can hear me. Something went with the camera. Sean's got to look at it and do something. But in a way, without the camera, it's a good thing because you don't really want to see my face. You know what I'm saying? I got a face for radio. So Skylar says, morning, I have my Inter Miami Messi shirt pre-ordered at Caneswear. There you go. You can pre-order it. Yeah, you can pre-order. You can pre-order your Sean Stanley too. Right there at Caneswear. Pre-order your Sean Stanley. Okay. It would feel weird not hearing you for a week, but you definitely deserve a vacation. Yeah. Nizzle says, normalize vacations, at least a couple of weeks a year. We want you around a long time. We're playing the long game. Keep up the great work. Best damn sports podcast on YouTube, period. Thank you. Thank you, Nizzle. Appreciate the super chat. It's very nice of you. And like I always say, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. With the camera, it's okay. It's like the old radio days, says Gordon. Exactly. So what happened? Did the camera go to shit or something? Okay. All right. Sean's trying to figure it out. We know there is no video there, Red. We actually know that. There's no video. Pat in Asheville. Pat, your package came yesterday. Unfortunately, I was not there to sign it. I was watching Mission Impossible. So hopefully I'll get it today and I'll be able to sign for the package. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. And looking forward to that surprise. I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to give anything away. But you're the best, Pat. Appreciate you. It's very, very, very kind of you, bro. If it's an external camera, unplug and plug in, says Christo. Yeah, he says thanks, Christo. He's never done this before. We went up. We went from close up of Sean to nothing. Yeah, Bank Steven Gonzalez. I saw what happened to Bank of America. They were overcharging people for overdrafts, and they weren't giving them bonuses that they were supposed to give them, and so they got slapped on the hand for $150 million, and life will go on. And if any of you were overcharged, I guess you'll be credited very soon, and they'll figure all that out. The biggest scam in our country is our banking and our dollar. There is no bigger scam than that going on. That's why I laugh at the fools that tell me about Bitcoin. And it's like, yo, bro, we live a scam. We live a scam, but yeah, it's the people that are uninformed don't even know what our banking system is all about. And so the fractionalized banking, they have no idea what that even is. And so, it's just one of those. The biggest scam is that, the FDIC has about $140 billion for insurance if you lose your money. Only problem is there's a $9.4 trillion. A little less now. I think we're under 9 trillion now because of all the money that's moved out of banks lately, because people are finally getting smart, and they're really, really, really elite investors are probably the ones that are figuring out, let me get my money out of my bank, and my money isn't growing with the dollar. But eventually people will figure it out, and they're kind of figuring it out now that it's just a huge scam what goes on with banks. But hey, it's all good in the hood, man, as they say. Let's see. This reminds me of listening to Big O on AM radio. Yeah, but I probably would not have just talked about what I just talked about on AM radio. Stock market is super corrupt as well. Everything's corrupt. Everything can be, and the stock market with the insider trading and all that kind of stuff, and that's why it gets manipulated. You know what I mean? That's where the average person doesn't have the advantages that people with connections do when we talk about the stock market. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks. If you have money in the bank, go in today and try taking it all out. I bet they don't even give it to you because they don't have it on hand. It's a large, exactly. They won't have it. They won't, unless you only have like $80. Then yeah, you can take it out. But yeah, they're limiting and everything, the kind of money you can take out and how much you can take out. So yeah, it's going to get even uglier, unfortunately. Yeah, bank is the only place that can use another person's money to buy more assets. And also, they don't get burned when they lose your money. They get bailed out by governments. It's just ridiculous. Well, what are you going to do, right? We got Matt Verderam, by the way. He's going to join us at 11 o'clock. Joe Shad will stop by at 11:30. Yesterday, I saw Day of Reckoning, Part 1. The new Mission Impossible. Went out to the theater with the wife. Got to see a little matinee action. So that was actually really cool. Getting to see the movie. I don't like going too much to the movies. I don't go to too many movies normally because it's just it's ridiculous. It's expensive as hell. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. It takes special movie to get me out there, and the Mission Impossible franchise can get me. In fact, here's the funny part. This is the first Mission Impossible I see in the screen. I've seen all of them at my home at one point or another over the years. That's where that's where I've watched all Mission Impossibles and seen them many times over. So, but yeah, it was really good. It was really entertaining. I got to say. I'm frozen. There we go. Okay. Oh, no, that's just my laptop. It's just now the internet's not as strong. Okay. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Excuse me. So, yeah, really good movie yesterday. Really enjoyed it. Not going to give any spoilers because that's not cool. Not going to do any of that. The movie just got out, but the cinematography is amazing. The plot is fantastic. The action is constant. The dialogue is, as always, intense, dramatic, funny, all kinds of stuff. Really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. There's only one small thing that, I didn't enjoy. I wish it wouldn't have happened. Not that it takes anything away from the movie. The movie's fantastic. Can't wait for the second part, obviously. But, just one thing that I could have, but hey, man, stuff has to happen at times. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But really enjoy. If you're a fan of the franchise, that's how I would put it. Anybody that's a fan of the franchise and you love the franchise like I do, yeah, you got to go watch it. You definitely got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So, really enjoyed that yesterday. Okay. And on a sad side, did you see what happened? What happened in Vermont? Like the capital. Like you can't even be in the capital. It's all flooded out. Oh, you didn't see it? Like 9 inches of rain. And the capital of Vermont is like closed down. Like it's sad. Okay. The floods there, the landslides in California. You saw that? It's crazy, man. Now, do you guys want a really crazy story that makes no sense? And it shows you where city officials don't give a shit about human beings, and that sometimes, or a lot of times, their priorities are so out of whack. Are you ready for this? Oakland's been fighting for the A's, right? They want the A's still. They're complaining that they're going to move to Vegas, this, that, and that they could have done something. For 20 years, they've been trying to get a stadium. They couldn't get it. Did you know that in Oakland, they don't answer 911? They have the slowest wait times to pick up 911. It's at 54 seconds before somebody picks it up. Normally, it takes several minutes. So a couple weeks back, or maybe over a month or two ago, an Oakland police officer 2 blocks away from the headquarters stabbed. The guy's dying. He's trying to reach 911 to say, cop down. On his own call, his own phone, the calls aren't going through. You know what happened? They heard him on the radio. His coworkers had to rush to the scene, load him up on a police car, and take him to the hospital. Because 911 never came through, never answered. Oakland doesn't even have money for their 911 calls. And they want the A's. You don't even have money for your own city, dude. Do you know how pathetic that is? That you can't answer 911? Do you know how pathetic it is? That a cop gets stabbed 2 blocks away from his headquarters. And they don't answer 911. You've been stabbed. You're calling 911 on your phone and no answer. And you have to get on the radio to say, hey, I'm down. And then cops have to come over instead of an ambulance to pick you up because 911 doesn't respond. So when people talk about, and I've been at this for a while now. What have I said? Oakland's a minor league town, right? I said they don't have money, bro. They shouldn't be thinking about pro teams and building stadiums or arenas for anybody. They don't have enough money for that kind of stuff. They're not a destination that. No, I've never met a person that says I'm vacationing in Oakland. I've never met that person in my life. And if I did, I probably would never socialize with that person again. You know what I mean? Like Oakland, bro, you're not going to Oakland for vacation, are you? Really? Seriously. You can go to Carmel. You know, you could go to San Francisco. You could go to even Los Angeles if you want, but you don't go to Oakland. Come on. So just like a story that just kind of, a sports story that doesn't get enough context on what, so anybody's, oh, I feel sorry for Oakland. No, dude, don't feel sorry for Oakland. Feel sorry for the people of Oakland, that the people that run Oakland are too freaking stupid to actually take care of their own. They're more worried about losing a baseball team than actually making their 911 work. That's priorities right there, ladies and gentlemen. Priorities. So it's really amazing. GP Trap says, I have my movie friends. We go watch movies. My wife doesn't like to go to the big screen, messes her head up. Interesting. Big O, you have a fan near you. What the hell is 1,000 degrees out this morning? Yeah, I have a fan here. Yeah, we have a fan. Hey, bro, you adjust, man. You do things. You can't be a prima donna. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna end up with swamp ass today. I mean, it goes that way. Did you see that guy stole over $400 in the supermarket in West Miami? Next to the supermarket is the police station. It's amazing. Big O doesn't get hot; he heats the air. That's pretty accurate, Dio, because I am full of a lot of hot air. So that is right on target, I gotta say. Red says, yeah, there's a recording when you call in California. There's so much crime, even in LA, when there's money, they have too much call volume. No, it's just ridiculous. California has gone down such a sewer. It's amazing to me, dude. That guy Newsom is a disaster, bro. Disaster. Yeah. If you vacation in Oakland, you may not make it a month in one piece. I'm so glad people are standing up for Florida. I was in Spokane, Washington, which borders with Iowa, and I was shocked at people thought of Florida like we were a third world country or something. Well, I will say this, at least living here, a lot of the stuff that I see happen in some of those other places, it doesn't. And I don't agree with our governor on a lot of stuff. That new law he just passed that screwed all of us. You know what? I got to bring Jeff Welt on to explain that. Because to defend ourselves, when we have homeowner damage now from storms and all that, DeSantis put us at a disadvantage. He gave the insurance companies all the power. And all the people, and now the immigration workers, what they're doing now with all the immigrants that are running away from the state, and they do jobs that none of us would ever take. It's what we never admit. Americans would never take the jobs that they're doing. They're never going to go pick fruit, bro. They're not going to clean houses. They don't do that shit. Americans don't do that shit. They haven't done that shit for hundreds of years. It didn't matter if you were watching the Big Valley. They had some kind of a minority cleaning the house. Okay? Didn't matter. That's been the part that's been played forever. It's a Hispanic or a black person or an Asian person, right? Those are the three taking care of your homes, right? Black, Hispanic, Asian. I mean, it's that role's been played on television because it's like a way of life. And the moron here he screwed a lot of businesses here, man. So, don't agree with a lot. But on the crime side, they do a lot better than they do out in the West Coast. That's for damn sure. Holy crap. Huh?
DeSantis is more worried about national now. Now it's about national power.
Yeah. Well, he has no shot now. He's kind of ruined himself because he has no people skills whatsoever. That guy has no talking skills. I mean, no personality, bro. Like none. Nada. My guy Ramaswamy, he's got some personality. He's got some intelligence. I like him better. California is bad, especially in the Bay Area, whether it's nice right now, but crime is no, yeah. Let's go. It's completely empty. And that was a bustling, busy ass place. And it's sad, dude. Sad. Oh, not to get specific, but is there any law that would make you not vote for a candidate whether you like them or not? Brother, there's no such thing as a candidate that you like everything they stand for. There's no way. I don't think. Have you ever found that lately? If you're honest, there's no way. There's no way any of us would vote for a Democrat or a Republican and that you say you agree with everything that they believe in or do or what. That's impossible. So you're going to have to compromise, and you're going to have to vote for somebody that you may not agree with everything, but you might think they're the lesser of all the evils. That's kind of what we vote for. Deep down inside, if you really are honest with yourselves and all that kind of stuff. You're just voting for what you think is the lesser of all these evils. Not that you think any of these people are the answer, to be quite honest. So, Frankie Fresco, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. You guys went 2 hours again yesterday. AWWED. So I'm doing something for tonight, right? Swerve Strickland versus Nick Wayne. Oh, you're going to give me some context?
I know you don't use this anyways, but I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
Nick Wayne, this will be his debut. He's 18 years old. He just turned 18. He had signed an AEW contract. Once he turned 18, he could perform on the TV. So tonight will be his first match taking on Swerve Strickland.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to take Swerve anyways because he swerves. So, anybody that can swerve, dodge, get in better position to flip your ass over, and then the guy's name is Swerve Strickland, which kind of tells me that certainly Swerve was a created name, and then Strickland, there you go, but it goes well. And then the other guy's name is Nick Wayne. So, I'm thinking Little Wayne, 18 years old now. You gave me context. This kid's a youngin'. He's coming into the ring, fresh face. Yeah, he's probably going to take a loss, and Swerve is going to pogo Strickland his ass and win. That's Mark Strickland, the pogo man, Eric Reed. You gotta keep up. You got to keep up here when we're breaking it down. Swerve Strickland over Nick Little Wayne. Okay, does he have a wimpy voice like Wayne does too, like Little Wayne, or does he have any bass in his voice? Okay, you haven't heard him talk. Okay, all right. Frankie, does he sound like Little Wayne with that wimpy little voice? God, that is one annoying rapper. I gotta say, that's so. When you're used to like Chuck D and like real voices, men, LL Cool J, you know what I'm saying? Biggie, people that sound cool, and then you hear Little Wayne. Wow, that is a wimpy, whiny type of rapping voice, dude. It was like there was at first I was giving Wayne a chance, but then the voice just got tiresome on me. Who said that? I convinced a friend of mine of that. And he stopped listening to him. He goes, "You son of a bitch. You pointed that out to me, and now all I hear is wimpy voice, and I can't listen to Little Wayne anymore." I got him off Little Wayne because he realized that, and I go to him, "Dude, this guy doesn't sound like a man, give me, a voice, bro. Like, Chuck D is a voice. You know what I'm saying? That's a man and a half right there. That sounds like power, and you know what I'm saying? And then you listen to, Little Wayne. Give me a break, bro. His nuts sound like he's in a vice or something. You know what I'm saying? It just, it's wimpy. Wimpy. Auto-tune killed everything. Well, not everybody. I listen to my boy Lupe Fiasco. He doesn't need any auto-tune, right? Kendrick Lamar doesn't need any auto-tune, right? Some of these guys sound great, and they know how to do it, and they great lyrics too. Kendrick Lamar comes up with good music to go along with his rapping. What's that one my daughter loves? J. Cole. He's pretty good too. She jams him all the time. Now that not all of them have, depending that's on that stupid auto-tune crap that just is garbage. It makes them all sound the same, by the way. But yeah, I just it's hard for me to listen to a wimpy voice. It's like I'm listening when I listen to Lil Wayne. It's like I'm listening to Tiny Tim. There you go. How many of you actually know who Tiny Tim is and you know Lil Wayne's voice? I would say very few of you. Very few. And for those, most of you that have no idea who Lil Wayne is or how he sounds, but you know Tiny Tim, or you know Lil Wayne, but you don't know Tiny Tim, go find Tiny Tim. I logged into yesterday just to comment on the Big Valley comment. Americans haven't done these jobs in centuries. Exactly. We don't do those jobs, bro. We don't pick fruit, dude. Okay? We have illegals pick fruit. We don't clean homes. We have illegals on average. So some Americans will do it. Some of your grandmothers out there still clean homes and stuff like that. I can see that. But more often than not, yeah. And that's what DeSantis did. He screwed a lot of people down here, man. Tiptoe through the tulips. That's right, Rosendo. You got it right there. And Eric, there you go. Most of these young rappers actually have little in their names these days. Yeah. Little Yachty and little Uzi and yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's they sound like soccer teams. FC, CF, City, right? All soccer teams are the same. All right, what are we going to name our team? Let's gather around. It must be the shortest meeting in the world to name an international soccer team. Well, we're from Miami. We're from Jacksonville. Okay, Jacksonville FC, Jacksonville CF, Jacksonville SC. Well, we'll go with CF. Great. Let's go have some lunch. What are we going to name ourselves? Well, we're in San Antonio. We're in Michigan. We're in, give me a Detroit. We're in Fort Wayne. All right, we'll call ourselves Fort Wayne City, San Antonio City, Detroit City. It really takes like a large amount of thinking to figure out the name of a soccer team. Okay? I wonder what they do. Do they just have like a poll question in the morning? FC, SC. And then there's a vote and, okay, we're going to name ourselves SC, FC, CF. Soccer kind of made it kind of for stupid people. Hey, listen, everybody plays it. Let's just come up with some same stupid name that everybody else can have. And then we'll just, hey, the only difference is the city. You're Inter Miami here or you're Inter in Italy. Whatever. What the hell? We're Inter. Yeah, no, we're not going with that city. We're going to be Inter. Super creative. Way to go. It's fantastic. By the way, speaking of backpacks, Spray Ground, which is like notorious, like the BIG. And if you guys want the newest one from the Canes, yeah, baby, Spray Ground. There you go. How about that? So newest backpack, they sold 25 of these last night online because they just got them and put them up and sold 25 of them already. But they are badass. So if you you know, your kid's going to go to school and you need a new backpack and all that. This one is so awesome, dude. It's like I have enough backpacks. I don't need another one, but I feel like maybe I'll buy it just for the hell of it. Like that. So you guys can check it out. But if you want to see it and your kids know about these backpacks, they're like the Nike of backpacks. So if you're looking for a new one, right there, man, that new Canes one is absolutely badass. Telling you. Let's see. What do we have? Lil Wayne's voice hasn't reached puberty yet. Yeah, and all that purple drank ain't gonna get him there either. Let's see. Do they have a Dolphins one? I don't know. You go to caneswear.com and check it out. I can ask, you know, during a break or something like that. But at caneswear.com, put backpacks, put Miami Dolphins backpack in the search and see if it comes up. They might have it. So there you go. Pat in Nashville says, that said, let's call this hotel something Tree. So they had a meeting and it was quite short. How about Tree? No. How about Double Tree? Hell yeah. Meeting adjourned. There you go. Can't call it Triple Tree. You got to call it, you know, Double Tree. Double Tree sounds good. Triple Tree, it doesn't sound good. All right. So we got National League winning yesterday. Did you watch the All-Star game at all yesterday? You didn't turn it on, huh? How about that? I did. I watched it. How about the Cal Ripken telling A-Rod, I was pissed at you when you made me play shortstop. You saw that?
I heard there was a lot of little like awkward exchanges between the group when Cal Ripken was
It's
up
just
there.
it's just that, you know what it is? A-Rod is awkward, bro. It's what it is, dude. Like, you never see people say, oh, I've had a great relationship, super smooth with A-Rod. Nobody ever says that. Everybody has a history with the guy. You know what I mean? Because he's an asshole. He's always been an asshole. He's still an asshole. Always will be an asshole. He's never changed anything. He's just a phony that tries to keep hiding it. But nothing's ever changed about A-Rod. That's where I laugh at people and, you know, talk about him resurrecting his career, this, that, and all. I don't think anybody trusts him any farther than they can throw him. And why would you trust that guy? There's been no track record to ever trust this guy. After all the crap that went on with him, he still screwed it up with J-Lo. He still ended up cheating on her and doing all the deceitful shit that he has done in his past with everybody else, dude. So when I saw that, I go, dude, even you pissed off Cal Ripken. Do you know what kind of an asshole you got to be to piss off Cal Ripken? I mean, Cal Ripken is, you know, he's gold. He's an American treasure. You know what I'm saying? You talk about a human being that has handled everything perfectly. He's one of those guys. He's Derek Jeter. He's Wade. He's Steph Curry. He's Tony Gwynn. He's Wayne Gretzky. He's Tua Tagovailoa. He's just one of those dudes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those dudes that if you walk away and you say, oh, Tony Gwynn's an asshole. Nah, dude, I bet you're the asshole. It's like this guy right here. If you ever hear anybody say, I had a problem with Sean Stanley, I can guarantee you that person's an asshole. If you ever hear anybody say, you know, I had a problem with Orlando Alzigari, that's normal. That's okay. Yeah, no. Sometimes can, you know, he can be a hard ass. He can be a dickhead. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm the first one to tell you sometimes I can be an asshole. I have no problem with telling you that. This guy He's one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? It just when you see Cal Ripken had a problem with him, it just shows you that guy never changed. Ever. Ever. It's just a level of phoniness that he keeps. And some people are dumb enough to buy it. That's all. 60% of people voting for high insurance and FPL bills makes them correct. I don't know what that means. There must have been part of something else. Huh?
Did you also watch, I guess, because I was driving up and I was listening to Joe's one, and they said that they did something for Shohei Ohtani. Did you see the piece they did on him?
I did not.
Okay, well, apparently they had Reggie Jackson talking about the batting part.
Okay.
Guess who they had talking about the pitching part?
So now we're going the other way. So you lofted it to me. Okay, so we're talking Clemens or
Roger Clemens did the.
I'm trying to think of
steroid pitching. Yeah, no, it was like one of those things where it was like.
Yeah, okay.
You go Reggie Jackson,
and plus,
and
another asshole, another unlikable asshole, Roger Clemens, another guy. Why aren't you bringing Greg Maddux there? The guy that pitched during the steroid era without steroids, the master of pitching.
Is Maddux still with Fox?
I have no idea.
Smoltz. I'm sorry, Smoltz was with Fox, I believe, or did he go? I think he's with Fox. I think he does.
But I would have brought Greg Maddux or John Smoltz or somebody classy that can, I just the second I see Roger Clemens, it's like watching A-Rod. Seriously, I don't know about you guys, but the second I see A-Rod on television or I see Roger Clemens, I already have a bad taste in my mouth. I really don't want to hear what they have to say. I don't really actually appreciate what they have to say. I don't care. I wish they would go away and just hide somewhere and never be seen again. Yeah, wow, that's bad. That's bad. There's so many other people I could have brought on that could eloquently talk about it and expand and add something to it, and then you feel good about it. Roger Clemens is not a guy that I ever want to even see.
Pinsker says Smoltz is with Fox. He did the All-Star game last night. As I said, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, so they didn't use Smoltz in that part. I didn't see that part. Yeah, I would not have Roger Clemens ever on any broadcast. Let's see. Cal Ripken Jr. is a great person, a role model character, and could play. Oh, nice. Some Marlins hats. All right, I like it. These are the new style, the 47s, the truckers. They've got them here. Check that out, bro. And remember, if you go online to caneswear.com, you order over $99, you will get free shipping. These are embroidered, by the way. So these are badass. Right, they're not the patch. So they're not cheap hats, okay? And they got the 47 stitched in. They got nothing else on the side? No, okay. But there you go. This one is a patch, okay? The classic logo, and then that one's embroidered in there. But they're nice, man. These are really quality hats.
But that patch is the actual logo. It's not some big square.
Yeah, right. It's a real patch, yes. These hats I fear. These are only for going out and because it's too clean. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. These are the kind of hats you don't wear that much. You just sport them a little bit. Pretty cool. Good stuff, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah. They embrace the old stuff. I like that. You should. By the way, the Panthers also, they bring back the screaming cat every once in a while too. You know, they I've kind of had some conversations with them on the inside about that, and they are not like, oh, we hate that logo. That's the pat. They're not like that at all. They're very respectful, and they embrace the original, which, listen, I love the new logo they came up with the Panthers. I think it's the best remake that's been done in South Florida, actually. I really like what the Marlins did, the Jeter group. I hated, everybody knows what Loria did. I can't stand the Maroon 5 logo. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at Maroon 5. Go put Maroon 5 logo and then put Marlins, whatever Loria logo, and you'll see where they got their idea.
But I also think he did that one more thinking because I think he thought that he was going to make that like an art district around
with all the colors.
And then also the stores, there would be more like artists and stuff because that's his background. And he totally misplayed it, and then it was just stuck there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Where is that thing? So I can go set it on fire, hit it with a yeah, where is that thing? Where is it?
The last time I saw it, where they plug in the TV, it was in pieces right there waiting to be moved.
Okay.
To a storage facility.
They should move it to that place in Vegas where they have all the old signs and everything. That's where they should move it. Right there. Let's see. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat again. Oh, I know you don't agree with the basketball tournament, but I honestly feel fans will grow into it if they add incentives, draft picks. That would be fire. Well, they're not adding incentives like they're only giving the money, bro. They're not going to put draft picks and any of that. I disagree with you, Frankie. The regular season is boring. The regular season doesn't really matter until you get to like March. Then it starts to kind of heat up. It's too long. You're doing it in early December. They don't play, people are missing 20% of the season nowadays. I don't see it catching on, to be quite honest. So we'll agree to disagree on this one, and time will tell. But to me, the tournament don't mean shit.
It's going to be a second summer league.
Yeah,
it's going to be a second summer.
Yeah,
league. Nobody's going to chance their superstars getting
hurt
in a play-in tournament that means nothing.
Yeah. But it only means something to the Atlanta Hawks,
the Charlotte
or
Hornets,
the Orlando Magic, or whatever if they win that stupid tournament.
The same teams that win the summer league every year.
Yeah,
when they have the summer league tournament, it's always like Orlando. It's all those teams like that gets the regular season and it's there.
Yeah. That's unfortunately, I just don't see an early December tournament mattering that much. And by the way, $500,000 for their tax bracket, don't they lose about 35% of that already? And then you're going to give a couple percent to your agent. It doesn't become that much money for the big players. A couple $100,000 is nothing to them anymore. They make that every game. Think about that. The guy that makes $40 million a year, I don't know, do the math. What's $40 million?
Frankie's saying it's going to be like soccer, but it's not because during. And again, I don't know European league, but like here, say they take the breaks for the Gold Cup or something. At least then you're playing for your country,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
you make $40 million, you're making $487,000 per game.
You're chancing that for a play-in tournament.
You're making more than the play-in tournament. Than that tournament. The winner gets $500,000.
I can see Spo using this as the summer league 2.0.
Yeah.
But I guarantee they're going to have to use people on the roster, but you're going to see a lot of Orlando Robinson. You're going to see a lot of whoever the two-way players are. You're not going to see Jimmy and Bam and all that in there. Maybe for minutes to spell some guys, because I guess you have to use the 15 guys. You're probably going to have to spell somebody every once in a while.
Right.
But they won't get the heavy minutes. It'll be probably flipped. Bam will come in for 2 minutes to spell somebody and then sit back down on the bench and everybody else will play the.
Yeah. I didn't play Jurkic as much here the first month and a half. Let me get him a little more playing time. So we'll see. Yeah, right. You're saving, right? Exactly. Yeah. By the way, did he sign with anybody? I haven't heard if you're saving signed with anybody. Hey, that ring on the bottom of the backpack is for the title Yahtzee. Van Dyke and the Canes will win this year. Do you think the Marlins will add an arm like C. Fulmer or K. Weintraub at the draft, at the deadline? I wouldn't. You want an arm? I want a bat. I think their arms are fine. Dude, they're 14 games over 500 and Sandy's pitched like shit. Think about that. Would you get another arm or would you get a bat? I would get a bat, man. I know they've scored more runs than we expected, but brother, if the pitching picks up down the stretch, and
I need to know what the deal
an
is with Yuri
experience.
Perez.
I'd like
What are they
to.
doing with him?
Oh, okay. Well,
Because there was talk of bringing him back up.
No, he's done. He's done.
They're not going to bring him back up. Then
Because the minor league the minor league innings, and then these innings together, he got too much already.
Okay,
He's fine. So he's down. You know what? With Yuri, actually, you know what? Scotty Haythaler might be right on this one. Maybe you do get another arm.
Something I thought I'd never say. I think they have enough bats right now.
They do have
except for the injury in center field. That is a position
and he's always injured.
Well, no, that and then the backup tore his leg or something, right?
Yeah,
but Davis.
But unfortunately, we cannot count on Jazz anymore. Until Jazz can actually play 2 straight seasons without injuries, we can't believe Jazz anymore that he can stay healthy. Because, dude, it was just swinging the bat that he pulled his rib cage again. We're not talking about running into the wall. We're not talking about, a foul pitch off your ankle or toe or some crap that, screwed you up for a couple days, a couple weeks or something. No, man, we're just talking about swinging a damn bat and you're out. Yeah, no, I have a problem with that. So it could go both ways, Scotty. They could get an arm. You're right, because of Yuri. That's a great point you bring up. Or they could get a bat because your center fielder is not reliable. He's fantastic when he's playing, but he's not reliable, unfortunately. And that's the label he has now earned, unfortunately, with this new season and new injuries.
Steven Gonzalez nailed it. One person.
What?
One person can help both ways. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll give away half the farm, but yeah, you can do it. Hey, did you see the Jets are go? Yes. I'm glad that they're going to put that show on television, because I think the awkwardness of Aaron Rodgers is going to be classic on that thing. Look at us saying, hey, Inter Miami might win that tournament, plus people will say, hey, first team to win the cup and finals. Inter Miami might win the tournament. I thought we were talking basketball there. Okay. Oh, the NBA tourney is in Vegas the weekend of December's U2 show. Wow. I'm there for the 8th and the 9th. I fly back the 10th. Interesting. Huh? Through the 7th it is? I don't know. Pat says it's the same time as I'm there for the U2 shows. I'm there on the 8th and the 9th for the two. Well, obviously I fly in the 7th and then I leave on the 10th because the Dolphins play Tennessee on the 11th on Monday night. If I'm correct. That's how it goes. And I'll be here for that. I would try and get Jaimer Calendario from the Nats. Solid switch hitting third baseman. We want Ohtani. Give us the Japanese guy. Yeah, it's and by the way, Red, you're right. Ohtani would never sign here. So you'd rent him for 2 months and then you'd lose him and then you lost all those prospects. It's not really worth it because even with Ohtani, you may still not win the World Series. So, I don't know if you give away all those picks because you're not really re-signing Ohtani. And I don't even know if he would sign here because we're not a big Asian community. I just kind of get a feeling that he's going to stay in the West Coast. Dodgers, San Francisco, one of those two places.
The championship game is December 9th.
So it's the night of the U2 concert.
Yeah, the tournament actually tips off Friday, November 3rd, and culminates with the championship on Saturday, December 9th.
That's funny. I will not be there, no. I have my tickets for U2 at the Sphere in Vegas, okay? That's I'm not missing that, brother. Okay? I switched those tickets for late September to early December, thanks to my man Pat in Asheville, by the way, because I'll be going to the concert with Pat in Asheville. Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. God, I can't wait for that. That is going to be just absolutely amazing. Welton Rayom, by the way, that is the law firm you want to call. Listen, we're here in hurricane season now till November. hopefully we get hit by no storms. Hopefully that Saharan dirt or sand or whatever the hell it is, it's in the system that's coming from Africa, and it's all over us and in the Caribbean, and we're going to get the second wave of it, and that's why it's killing off any kind of storm and all that kind of stuff. Well, hopefully that continues till November, so we get no storms. But we all know that that's not going to happen, and storms do happen, and we could get hit, and you're watching natural disasters everywhere. And by the way, can we stop with this? Can we stop with this? Because we had it in New York earlier, a few days ago, and what's her name? Hochul in New York, the governor, this 1 in 1,000 year storm. You guys know that every week they're telling you there's a 1 in 1,000 storm everywhere else. How about, another badass storm that happens all the time all over the world? And so it could happen here, is my point. That you might be in Hollywood or in Miami or in Hope Sound and 9 inches fall within hours, like what happened to Vermont, what happened in the desert in California a year, about maybe 8 months ago or something, stranding hundreds of cars. Okay, it could happen at any time. I want you to save this number for Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. You're going to need somebody to protect you, okay? Because when you call the insurance companies, they're going to send their adjusters, and they are only going to protect themselves. They don't look out for you. So call them, 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. And tell him that Big O sent you. Hour number 2 is next, and it's Matt Verderam, baby. He is ready to rock and roll.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, rock and roll. Matt Verderam, how you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
I'm good. I'm on vacation. I'm at the beach. I'm in the car. I'm making sure I can see you and I can hear you and I have a decent connection. So I'm ready to get. It's hot as hell out here. So I'm glad to be in the car with a little AC.
Yeah, well, we're doing the show outside here at Caneswear, so it's 100 degrees. So yeah, it's It's a little hot here right now, but we're good. We're gonna hang in there, and my fat ass needs to sweat a little bit, so it's all right. By the way, are you close to a bank? Are you close to anywhere where a Chiefs fan could hold the place up?
There are many banks around here. Thankfully, Chiefsaholic has been apprehended by the feds, and so
You know about this, Sean? Okay, I've been dying to screw around with Matt on this because it is an awesome story, bro.
it's been going
Twisted
on.
as hell, but it's like, yo, bro, this guy was like a massive Chiefs fan, and then on his off time, he was like robbing everything in sight, dude. How many? That guy did a lot of jobs. Holy
He did.
moly!
I was saying this on another show I was doing the other day. So my God, if he was that dedicated to something positive, what could the man have done?
I know.
I mean, it really dedicated to his craft. Unfortunately, his craft was knocking over banks, apparently, but yet not great. The good news is apprehended now, and so all the banks can rest easy for a little while.
Okay, all right. So your money is safe at the moment
I hope.
with the local Chiefs fan in jail. I just thought that was. By the way, again, a little off the beaten path because we normally talk NFL,
Yep.
but by now, okay, all right. I'm not talking 10 years ago. I'm not talking 20. I'm certainly not talking 30, 40. Are you shocked that a program like Northwestern, who, by the way, is supposed to I thought they're like Vanderbilt and Notre Dame and Stanford, Georgia Tech. I thought those were places that actually hit the books. So I thought they really had smart people there. But are you shocked that hazing is still going on at that level when phones and everything, how impossible it would be to get away with this shit by now? And whether Pat Fitzgerald says he really know or he didn't know, the fact that he didn't know was the ultimate indictment by you running a program you weren't there for just 7 months or a year. No, you've been there 17 years, dude. You should have eyes everywhere, feelers everywhere telling you what's going on. Bad job by him. But again, the ignorance to think that you can get away with that in today's world. Are you shocked with that?
A little, but I very rarely am I shocked by pro sports. And by the way, college football is a pro sport at this juncture.
That's true.
I mean, look, I am based about 40 minutes from Northwestern. I have been to the campus. I know some people who are not affiliated with the program, but are around the program. I mean, to originally suspend the guy for 2 weeks, and then everything comes out because the student newspaper, right, it basically outs the whole situation, and then
Ray Rice. This is Ray Rice all over again.
Yeah, your president looks like an absolute dope, and has to come out and say, "Well, you know, actually, let me think about what I did. Let me think about." In my opinion, he should be fired too. I mean, that is ridiculous. How negligent are you? Like, right. He wasn't going to do a damn thing until he realized, oh, wait a minute, I got a problem here. It's public. And so that's where we're sitting. But yeah, bad job all the way around. And I'm not surprised he ended up getting fired.
I've been on this from the get-go on the whole Dalvin Cook thing. I told Dolphin fans that they were never going to trade for him when people were reporting that. I told them they were never going to give him big money. But now, after everything that's developed, I got to tell you something. What's also been amazing to me, because I think this is what really happened. I think there's shell shock in the Cook camp. I think the agent misread the market, and really, I don't think maybe now he understands what the running backs are in the NFL nowadays. You're not important anymore. You're just not important in the NFL. I'm sorry, running backs, high school running backs. I just want you to know while you're starting off, you're not important. You'll be lucky to play one contract in the NFL, and then you'll be playing year by year from there on out, for the rest of your career. To me, Dalvin Cook is shell-shocked, and so was his agent, that the offers are this low at this point. Agree? Agree.
The reality is we talk about it all the time. Like, running backs just don't get paid anymore in the NFL. They don't. Unless you are just Walter Payton or you are Barry Sanders. I mean, Dalvin Cook's terrific, but he's not rushing for 1,800 yards a year. He's rushing for 1,100, which is great. It's a great season. But, you can find guys who can rush for 1,000 yards in the NFL these days anywhere. You just can. And so Dalvin Cook is an excellent football player. But two things can be true at once. He is excellent, and he is not going to get paid. That is just not going to happen. There's a reason he's not signed. If anybody offered him the money he wanted, he'd be signed by now.
Of course.
Because the money's not there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to me, I think they misread this market from the get-go. And I think they thought there were going to be more people lined up to get him. And, that's not the case. Look at Deshaun Hopkins. I think that's another guy that expected a lot, dude.
I think with Hopkins, and I do really believe this, I think this is just a waiting game with Chris Jones and the Chiefs. I really do. I think once the Chiefs extend Jones, which I know has been out there, that it's expected to happen for camp. My understanding has also been that the Chiefs all along this offseason have expected to get this done. Doesn't mean it will. I mean, things happen, right? But the expectations it will. And if it does, they're going to free up about $20 million in cap space. And they don't need to roll the money over because when they traded away Tyreek Hill, they saved all that money, and that starts being saved next year. So is it a guarantee? No. But I think Hopkins is waiting to see what the Chiefs do when they have the money, because the Chiefs have tried to get him this offseason. I mean, that's a point of record. I've reported that. Other people have reported that. They were interested in him in March, in April.
And Buffalo doesn't have money.
No, they spent it on Oliver. They spent the money on Oliver. So, I saw the report out there, well, they're interested in him if he wants to go ring chasing for less money. Yeah, well, no kidding. I mean, yeah, if he wants $4 million, yeah, he's all in. But
wait a minute. I'm sorry if I'm ring chasing. I'm going to Kansas City. I haven't seen the Buffalo Bills. Where are the rings?
Right. I mean, that's
what rings? What rings? In fact, Josh Allen may be going into this season like, yo, bro, you never live up to the hype. Where all that talent. Where are the AFC Championship appearances? Where is the Super Bowl? If I'm ring chasing, I'm going to Kansas City, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, if you're DeAndre Hopkins and they all make you a decent offer, you're probably going there. I mean, why wouldn't you? You're going to go to New England or Tennessee? You're not going to do that. If you're DeAndre Hopkins, you want to go 1 year where you can go catch 90 balls for 1,400 yards and potentially win a Super Bowl, and then go cash in one more time. Then go to market and get, 4 and 85 for, whatever, 50 million guaranteed.
You realize this will be the first time he's the number 2 receiver on a team if he goes to Kansas City?
Oh, his whole career, he's always been by a wide margin, the number 1. And in Kansas City, Kelsey's the 1. And it'll be Hopkins who's the 1B, essentially. Look, it'll be like when they had Tyreek.
That's if the monster doesn't put it a whole season together, stays away from injuries, because I think you traded for a monster from the Giants. I really do. If that kid stays healthy, I think Tony's the skies. I think he's a number 1 in the making. It's just up to him now to kind of put it together. It's not up to Andy. It's not up to Mahomes. It's not up to the offensive line. It's really all up to the player to finally, dude, you've got everything. The Lord gave it to you. It's now up to you to refine it and stay on the field for a whole season. That's your number 2 if it really happens. Let me tell you, because that kid can fly. He can do everything, bro.
You saw the Super Bowl. I mean, what he can do. I mean, the problem with Tony at times is the stuff that, can he stay healthy? Is he focused? I mean, look at what's going on right now, where he's saying his account got hacked on Twitter, but he's biting back at fans, and there's all these. I mean, it's just like that's the kind of stuff I can guarantee you Andy Reid is going to address with him very sternly and very, very swiftly if it hasn't already been addressed. Like that stuff.
He doesn't grow up, bro. He doesn't grow up.
The one thing with them, and New England was like this for they won't put up with it. Like he'll just be gone. That will be the end of it. Like, he needs to grow up. And, this stuff about his account got hacked. Look, bottom line is he needs to be responsible for all of his own actions and his own accounts and all the rest of it. I mean, that's where we're at. So I think the talent's there. The question is, does he want to show up and play ball and be the player that he probably can be and should be?
It'll be really, really interesting to see if they can actually get it done. Who's the team that when you're now making all your trips, who's the sleeper team for you?
Well, I'm going to be going to 8 cities. So starting August 4th, I'm going to go to Chicago, Indy, Cincy, Cleveland, Detroit. And they're having a joint practice with the Giants. And I go to Minnesota, Kansas City, and Green Bay. Of those teams, I think the Packers could be better than people think they are. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
They're well coached. They're very talented on defense. They've got a very good tandem at running back. I like some of their young weapons. I like Watson. I like Dobbs.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that division is not good. Like, could they go 10-7? Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to pick them to win the division. The team that I'm not going to visit that I will tell you is my sleeper is Carolina. I think Carolina could win that division and actually be pretty good because I love the coaching staff and I like Bryce Young. Bryce Young long-term scares me because of his size, but his talent, I think, is going to win out early on. I just think it's hard to pick a sleeper in the AFC.
You know what? If Bryce can anticipate and just get rid of the ball.
It'll be fine.
I know his size, but don't take the unnecessary hits. Don't try to be like what our guy does. Don't try to always be a hero, bro. Make a quick read, get rid of the ball, and you'll give yourself life in this league. But if you hang on to the ball like Tua has, and I hope Tua has learned that part to get rid of the damn ball, I think Bryce will be all right. The size stuff is always a concern, but Murray, I know Murray can run, and I know we'll see off the ACL, but he can, if he actually could develop consistency, he could actually play the game. I think that'll be the key for Bryce, bro. Just learn from Tua. Get rid of the ball. Don't hang on, and then that you won't create those extra problems for you.
That's fair. I mean, I know the divisions, the NFC South, it's not good. I just think it's really hard to pick a team that's a sleeper team in the AFC. I mean, you got to get through hell in the AFC to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a sleeper team with because look, if they're a sleeper in the AFC, they either have a rookie quarterback or a bad quarterback.
Right. You can't pick Miami as a sleeper. That's stupid. That's not
Miami's good. Like Miami's not a sleeper team. Yeah. Like I see people like. But I'll give you one team in the AFC I think could be better than people think. It's Pittsburgh. Here's why.
I like that Pickett. I think he's going to get better. Yeah, I like that.
Really good defense. And Pickett at times was decent last year. Yeah. So that to me is the team. If I'm looking at a team, and their schedule's not that hard, so they would be the team I would pick.
And the coach is a master.
Oh, he's great.
At balancing egos and dude, he almost got to the playoffs with the Duck at quarterback.
Oh, insane. He's great every year. He's great every single year.
Tomlin has done some shit now that, like I thought the wheels were coming off of him for a few years ago, but then as I learned everything that happened with Le'Veon, with Brown, and with his quarterback, because Roethlisberger was just as bad as those guys. It's just, how he balanced all of that shit behind the scenes where nobody else could balance Le'Veon and Brown. This guy was balancing Le'Veon, Brown, and Roethlisberger.
Yep.
He's good.
Tomlin should be a first-round Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Tomlin, to me, look, there's so many people who are like, well, he's won one. Hey, look, man, that guy is an incredible coach.
Yep.
There are different levels. Gary Kubiak won a Super Bowl. Gary Kubiak is not Mike Tomlin. Okay, like
not even close.
Sometimes you just have to watch the games with your eyes.
I just told you he almost made the playoffs with the Duck.
Yes.
Gary Kubiak wouldn't win 3 games with the Duck. Okay?
People sometimes are so beholden to, well, this guy has this many wins. And, okay, yeah, because you had an unbelievable team.
Right.
I mean, anybody would have won with that team. You know? I mean, I always am conflicted. Like George Seifert won 2 Super Bowls with a team that was built by Walsh. That was incredible. He then went to Carolina. They went 1-15. Like, I don't think he was necessarily a bad coach. I just think he was kind of like, look, he could coach a good team. He probably couldn't elevate a bad team. There are certain guys who could coach a bad team and make him a 9-win team.
Right.
Those guys are the great coaches.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. Well, we see it with Andy also. Doesn't matter who's quarterbacking. Right. You're going to play like Alex Smith. Alex Smith's BBs actually ended up dropping finally with Andy Reid, where he was super conservative, ultra conservative as a player his whole career. And then Andy gets him, and all of a sudden he starts taking some chances and playing a little bit more aggressive. And you're like, whoa, all right, Alex Smith playing a little better foot. He never got to that point that you were like, oh, Alex Smith is great. But Andy got the max out of him. You know what I mean? And that's
got him to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He can coach.
Yeah, he can coach and a half. All right, what do you got going on in Sports Illustrated?
So we're wrapping up here the next week or so, right before camp starts. I believe the first team reports the 17th, maybe the 18th. We have the 32 teams in 32 days. We've got a few more teams coming out. I got the Chiefs. I got the Niners. And then after that, we actually did something that really was fun. We're doing a thing called Bad Takes Week. I think it comes in a couple of weeks, where we had to come up with a take that we believe, but that a lot of people would like push back against. My bad take to preview it was, I think that the 2-point safety, should be eliminated. Look, you get tackled in the end zone with the ball, or the ball goes out of the end zone, whatever it would be. The other team gets the ball at your 20-yard line. Because I went back last year and looked, 13 safeties happened last year in the NFL. Only 2 times did the opposing team then get the free kick and actually score points. Give them the ball to 20. If you're dumb enough to get tackled in your own end zone, you should have to pay by more than just 2 points. So I asked some people in the league about it, and I got some great responses. I also got some really funny ones. Dan Orlovsky was nice enough to comment.
I was just going to ask you, what happens if you run out of the back of the end zone like Dan Orlovsky?
Well, you're going to have to read it, because Dan Orlovsky got involved. So, and kudos to him for being a great sport. So it's a lot of fun. Everybody did a bad take. That's mine. I'm giving you a little tease, but it's a lot of fun. And then August 4th, start my camp tour. We'll be checking in with you from the road.
I give you 5 points if you run out of the back of the end zone, because if you're dumb enough to run out of the back of the end zone, let's give the other team 5 points just for that.
That's right.
That's it. That's what you do. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderam. More importantly, catch his exceptional work there at Sports Illustrated. Matt, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great Matt Verderam getting it done. You know who also gets it done? EJD Construction. They know how to get it done. We love EJD Construction, Eric and the great people at EJD Construction. In fact, they are going to my house actually to do some work in the very near future. And if you are looking for custom home construction, I'm talking about major home remodeling, fully insured, folks, liability, workers' comp. So that way, when they go into your home, you know that you're not going to get sued. You know that, right? Somebody goes to your house to work at your house and they fall, they get injured, they can sue you. So if the company they're working for is not insured, they end up suing you. And you're like, well, wait a minute, it's not my fault you fell, got injured, or whatever. Doesn't matter. So make sure when you hire a company that comes to work at your home that they are fully insured. That way you're not held liable for anything that Can you imagine somebody working on your roof and then they fall off your roof? And then they're suing you? No, dude, you can't do that. I wouldn't have a company that doesn't have insurance on our platform. EJD Construction, fully insured. Cutter's Edge Pro, fully insured. That's the first question I ask when we talk business. The first question I ask is, hey, let's not waste anybody's time. Are you fully insured? Yeah, okay, show me the proof. Okay, great. Now let's talk business. Why? Because I'm not going to bring somebody on and then you guys call them and then maybe you didn't check their insurance. I'm doing it for you in this case. But I just want you to know, just in case you don't want to hire EJD or Cutter's Edge Pro, which you should, but if you don't hire them and you hire somebody else, please, I beg you, please make sure they're fully insured, because then you're held liable for anybody that goes on your property to work. Please. A lot of people don't know that stuff. So call Eric, completely insured. And we're talking about whatever you need to do, man. You need to build an extension to your home. You want to add another room. You want to build an efficiency because you want to rent it out, or you want to build an Airbnb on your property, because we've got listeners that have actually done that now. They built an Airbnb on their property. That's actually pretty cool. Second floor, all kinds of stuff. One of our listeners had a fire, had to remediate the entire home. Another one of our listeners built an observation deck on top of their home. I mean, this is the kind of custom home construction, major home remodeling we're talking about. Only in Dade and Broward counties, by the way. Call Eric. This is his personal cell number, 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. All right. So what's the crypto market doing right now? Let's see. What do we got? Where's Bitcoin messing around? Same place, 30,600, right around there. How about the stock market now with the inflation numbers going down? Dow Jones up 266 points. The S&P's up 43 points. The NASDAQ is up just a third of a point. Not much for the NASDAQ, but at least the Dow Jones is moving. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's good to see it's good to be the king. It's good to see the Dow move. We like that. All right. How you doing? What else we got going on? National League wins last night 3-2. A raise for the Marlins. Had 2 hits, 2 of 2. Diaz had the 2-run job in the 8th inning. Marlins are back in action on Friday against the Orioles. What else did I see? So NBA is talking expansion again. And no surprise. So I don't know if you saw this story, Sean, but no surprise, I say. What are the 2 cities you think that he mentioned in his press conference? Do you know? Do you know, Sean? Huh? Exactly. So Seattle and Vegas, the ones that we all think of, right? Is there another city outside of Seattle and Vegas that you say they should expand to in the United States? Is there a city out there right now that you say, Vegas, got to have one, and Seattle had to have it first than anybody else? It's a lot like the Browns. Like the Browns never deserved to lose their team. Same thing. Seattle never deserved to lose their team. You know what I mean? And they redid Key Arena and all that stuff. So they're feeling good about it. And he says, we will turn to expansion once these new media deals are done. It's not a sure thing, but as I've said before, I think it's natural that the organizations grow over time. We will look at Vegas. There's no doubt there's enormous interest in Seattle. That's not a secret. There are other markets that have indicated interest. For the people who hear or read about this interview, we're not engaged in that process now. We're not taking meetings right now with any potential groups. We're not saying to everyone privately, it's the same thing I'm saying publicly, that there will be a very open process at the time already to consider expansion, but that's not yet. That's not yet now. So it's going to happen. Seattle had a team from 67 to 2008. Okay? They deserve to get their team back, and Vegas. Those are the automatic. And by the way, they are an international sport. You saw who the number 1 pick is, a Frenchman. We got players coming from all over the place, the Luka Doncic's of the world, all that kind of stuff. It's happening everywhere, all around the next to soccer. The second biggest international sport is, of course, basketball, right? So basketball has no problem expanding. It's not watered down. It's perfect. Football might be harder, obviously, because of the quarterback position and those kind of things. Baseball has an international talent pool also, not as big as basketball, but it's still bigger than football. That's for sure, right? So you're able to kind of balance it out. Now, I'm not talking about any expansion in baseball or anything like that, but I'm just kind of talking about how international the game of basketball is. So expansion is not a bad thing in basketball. I think it makes a lot of sense. But when we talk about other cities, Frankie, Jacksonville, and he puts a laughing face next to it. But really, seriously, Montreal for Alan Poupart. Yeah, he's such a big basketball fan as it is. Pittsburgh, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. Did you ever see that movie, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh?
I don't think I have.
Really?
I mean, I've never sat down and from start to be. If I did, I might have.
Dr. J is in that movie.
I don't know. I may have tuned into it at one point.
But it's a funny movie. It's maybe late 70s. I want to say is that movie. Maybe 1980. I'm not exactly sure. You can Wikipedia it or whatever.
The airplane era.
Yeah. It's called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, and you should watch it. You should watch it.
I'll take a look at it.
There's actually, I mean, it's not this great movie or anything like that, but there's a couple of former players on there. Back then, they were former players at that point, or current players, because Dr. J was still currently playing at that moment when the Fish that saved Pittsburgh, and then there's isn't it Channing Tatum? Not Channing Tatum, Channing, the one from Greece. Isn't she the psychic? Channing, what's her name? Now, Channing Tatum is the dude, right? Channing something, whatever. Isn't she isn't she the psychic? You know who's also there? Stalker Channing. That's it. Stalker Channing. I'm pretty sure she's the psychic in The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. There's some other actors in there. Did you ever see a show called Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas? So you remember Bobby Six Killer? There's only 3 people on that show. The blonde, the Polynesian, big Polynesian guy, he's one of the basketball players. Okay, I remember that. I remember Bobby Six Killer was on there. I forgot his name now, his real name. Bobby Six Killer is that guy. He was in Predator. Bobby Six Killer is that guy that's been like in so many shows and movies that you just don't realize until you go to his IMDb and you start going like, holy shit, dude. Pittsburgh, not Philadelphia. Okay. So yeah, it's yeah, Miss. Oh, she's not Miss Cleo, but she's kind of Miss Cleo there, huh? Jonathan Winters, yeah, yeah. Meadowlark Clemens is there, right? Uh-huh. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Debbie Allen. Yeah. No, there's several actors in it. Debbie Allen, I think, is the girl that the doc is trying to impress when he goes to the practice court, and then they got the music playing, and Doc is doing all kinds of highlights and all that kind of stuff. The reason why especially the Fish that Saved Pittsburgh was so big, not big, it was like a cult classic. Let's put it that way, not big, but a cult classic to people back in the day. The Doc. The Doc just made the whole damn movie. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, it was a way of watching the Doc and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
If they're saying these 2 teams are probably going to they're going to be Western Conference, right? So the next 2 expansion teams will be Eastern Conference, right?
Well,
if they're playing that way?
They might move.
I guess you could move a team.
They'll move a Western Conference team like a Memphis.
Yes, okay.
To the east.
I was trying to divide up where everything was at. I was trying.
Where is New Orleans in the east or the west? Now I'm forgetting.
I mean, I guess technically you put them in the east too. Those 2 teams could be Memphis and New Orleans could move.
I'm not even sure if they're in the west or the east.
No, they're in the west.
They're in the west. Okay, so then you can move them.
Yeah, no.
So I gave you.
Yeah.
I just gave you the 2 teams you would move because they don't have. You're not moving Detroit.
Yeah, but you only need to move one team.
Actually.
You don't need to move one team.
You wouldn't move a real established team.
Yeah. Right now, there's 30 or 32 in NBA teams? 30, right?
It's 32.
32, so it's 16 and 16.
Yeah.
So then you would add 1 and just move 1 over. Or if you add
add 2, you have to move 2 over.
No.
Yeah, if you add 2, Vegas and Seattle would go to the west. You're adding 2. Then you'd move 2 from the west to the east. Oh, no.
You're off.
No, you're right. It's
you're
1,
off.
the math.
Yeah,
That's right.
You have to be
one. That's right.
Unless they just say for this year and then the expansion team starts next year, And,
Right. I got you.
Somebody said maybe Oakland.
St. Louis or KC. St. Louis used to have a team, the Spirit. Kansas City also had a team. They were the Clippers, if I'm correct, right? The Royals became the Clippers? Or the Royals the Royals became, yes, Kansas City Clippers became the San Diego Clippers, which then became the Los Angeles Clippers. Am I right? Is that how it went? Look at the Clippers, and it'll tell you whatever the Clippers' history is. I think that's how it went, actually. I think they were in Kansas City. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? So much crap going on, you never know. Ooh, a little Rod Stewart cranking up here in the background. Stay away from my window. Yeah, but Oakland and San Francisco are so close they can't claim it, and the Warriors used to play in Oakland just recently. Yeah, well, Oakland's not a minor league. Oakland's a minor league town. It doesn't deserve any pro teams. I just gave you the story. They can't even run their 911 in Oakland. You can't talk about pro teams when you can't even run your 911. People don't even call 911 anymore in Oakland because it doesn't answer. So what was it? What's the history with the Clippers?
All right, they were the Buffalo Braves from
Right.
70 to 78, the San Diego Clippers from 78 to 84, and then they became the Los Angeles Clippers.
All right, there we go. All right, so Kansas City was another one that we have to figure out. All right, let's do it. Joe Shad is ready to go. He's locked and loaded. Let's do our essential moving experts, Miami Dolphins exchange.
It's time to talk Aqua and Orange. Miami Dolphins fans. Here's a man with incredibly high standards. In fact, he isn't impressed with Tyreek Hill's dominance, Jalen Waddle's speed, or even Teron Armstead's swag. It's the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking to move your home or business anywhere in the U.S. from coast to coast, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Let's talk football. Here's Joe Shad.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, Joe? You feeling good? Fresh from your vacation?
Yeah, I'm doing well. My family just left. We usually have 3 people in our house, but for 5 days we had 7 people in our house, and so a lot more dishes, a lot more towels, a lot more noise. I forgot how loud 3 kids can be in comparison to 1.
Whew, yeah.
When they get together, it's like.
But you're glad it's over now, right?
It was a good time, though. I'm very glad my sister and her children and my mom visited. It was a very nice time.
That's a fantastic way of saying you're happy it's over. That was smooth. I like that.
I think 4 nights is a good length for a family visit. I think it worked. I think 4 nights was the right choice.
Is that why you had a hotel for 3 of those nights? Okay. Nice job by you. I like it.
It's so hot. The water in our pool is over 90 degrees. We don't have a chiller. Some people in our community actually have a chiller.
I didn't know you buy chillers. I've heard of heating the pool, but I've never heard of a chiller. Wow.
We have a pool heater, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but maybe we can get a pool company chiller sponsor.
Okay. All right. We
if you're out there.
If you're out there, let's go, pool chillers. Step it up. They're asking about the dog. Oh, where's the dog, Joe? Yeah, but the dog doesn't behave. So he has to ask people to come pick it up. That's the problem.
Dog is in the crate. We have a crate trained dog. He likes the crate. Don't worry. Plenty of treats. Okay. He sometimes goes in the open crate on his own to just chill.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. What do we have here? Professional basketball returning Kansas City in 72, and Cincinnati Royals relocated there and became the Kansas City Kings. That's it. The Sacramento. That's it. That's the one.
I actually knew you were wrong about that, but
I knew I was getting the Clippers and the Royals and all that crap confused, and so I knew it was somewhere there. It's a lot of shit to remember sometimes. Anyway,
it's interesting that the A's and the Rays might be moving, and yet Major League Baseball is still interested in adding 2 teams after that. I don't know if we need baseball expansion.
No, I don't think they need to expand. Basketball, I'm cool with. And, I feel bad for Seattle as it is because it's kind of like the Browns. They didn't deserve to lose their team. Their fans were great in Seattle. It was just obviously politics that they couldn't fix Key Arena. But I'm glad that expansion is coming for the NBA eventually, and they'll fix that problem like the NFL did with Cleveland, that they fixed that. That was not that was an uncalled for black eye for the league, the whole Cleveland fiasco. And I think for the NBA, the Seattle thing is also one of those that you need to rectify that, bro. It's just, it's not.
It's a little weird when towns lose their teams and then get them back.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Like Quebec in hockey, I think they even built an unbelievable arena, and they're like, we really want our team back, but
but some do
Charlotte, right? Didn't Charlotte Hornets, right?
But they had a shitty owner in George Shin, and then they end up with another shitty owner in Michael Jordan. Basketball has never been able to grow there because you have bad leadership. overall. And that's a basketball state over, they live and eat, breathe basketball in that state. It's a shame that they've had poor leadership there, dude. Now, like the other thing, like the Atlanta Flames, then you gave them the Thrashers. That was stupid.
And they're considering it again. I don't think it'll happen, but they're like open to it again. We can make this work. Yeah, no.
Nah, you've had 2 of them already. You can't make it work, bro. Let me ask you something. Talking about not making it work, Joe. Did Dalvin Cook and his agent misjudge the market? Because, I reported from the get-go, they met with the Dolphins the second they were released. They got their offer. They were really disappointed with it. And then they went around and they were disappointed with the offers overall. And I think he thought that people were going to be lined up and they were going to give him the money. And maybe he was reading all those headlines of people talking about how the Dolphins were ready to trade for him or give him big money the second he's available or all of that. Did they misjudge the market? Because I kind of get the feeling they did.
I mean, salary cap space is more valuable to an NFL team than a late round draft pick. So, guaranteed money, length of term. It's just not a good time to be a running back at all for anyone. I mean, there are running backs who are even more accomplished than Dalvin Cook who would have a hard time, getting a big number as a running back. It's just the state of the game. Now, it is interesting because the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel has spoken about wanting to go against the grain while most NFL teams are using the pass to set up the run. McDaniel has always spoken about wanting to have the ability to use the run to set up the pass. So the Dolphins are a team that with McDaniel might be willing to invest slightly more than the average NFL team, but it's also just not in Chris Greer's DNA. He's never really believed in investing too much in the position. So
listen, I don't think he drafts A-Chain if the coach doesn't want him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he takes a guy in the 3rd round, to be quite honest. I think he took the guy in the 3rd round because his coach wanted it, and he didn't have much option after that because he didn't have a 4th or a 5th to wait around. So he had to take the pick there. And since I'm sure the Cook stuff that never moved, they were like, okay, we got to move on. And then we added A-Chain. I bet he took the 3rd round pick for A-Chain just because the coach wanted him more than.
Well, remember, he did take Kenyon Drake in the 3rd round. So I think that's kind of like the cut.
Wasn't it 4th?
It was a 3rd round pick. Okay. Kalen Balaj was a 4th round pick.
Okay. All right.
So Kenyon Drake was a 3rd round pick, and that's the only 3rd round pick that Greer has used on a running back. All the others are like the Malcolm Perrys of the world, who wasn't even really a running back. They tried him. They actually moved him to receiver. He was a quarterback running back in college. But I think that the A-Chain addition certainly plays an impact on how far the Dolphins are willing to go on Cook. Now, the Dolphins also almost selected a running back. It might have been a guy named White from Arizona State in McDaniel's first year. I think he was selected just ahead of the Dolphins in the 2nd or the 3rd round of McDaniel's first year. So he does want to add running back. He does value running back. But listen, the Dolphins are hoping that in a climate in which sports stars are maybe willing to take a little less to come to Miami, to live in Miami, the weather, the culture, the lifestyle. He's from here. They're hoping that maybe they could get a little bit more of a club-friendly deal. This is a luxury item. This is not a necessity. Doesn't mean that they're not going to add Dalvin Cook, but it has to, maybe it has to play out a little bit further. It obviously does. And
by the way, you're not going to spend big money on a guy that's part-time. That's the part that I think some fans still have to kind of get through, when Omar and I would have these guys, well, he's a $7 million. No, Omar, you're not using him every down. He's going to share time with Mostert. He's going to share time with Wilson. And they didn't draft A-Chain to just sit him down. They get 4 years with A-Chain. And guess what? Most backs aren't going to see second contracts. So,
and listen, Jeff Wilson is a great dude. And I like him as but I'm going somewhere with this. He's a great dude, and he's got that chip on his shoulder, and he's He believes that he's better than folks think he is. But when the 49ers added Christian McCaffrey, he asked the 49ers to trade him. And common sense says that if the Dolphins acquire Dalvin Cook, Jeff Wilson is going to say, please trade me. So you're deleting Jeff Wilson. And the Dolphins might say, all right, well, what would we get for Jeff Wilson? How much are we paying Jeff Wilson in comparison to what we would have to pay Dalvin Cook? Those things come into consideration. These decisions aren't made in a vacuum.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. And you know, in a way, Mike McDaniel has made already a commitment to those guys. You know what I mean? So it's not an easy situation, or as easy as some people make it out to be. And the key is it is a luxury. Jets look like they are going to do Hard Knocks. How does Aaron Rodgers play on this stage?
This is really interesting. He has an opportunity, Aaron Rodgers does, to improve public perception. So the public perception of Aaron Rodgers is that he's a strange guy, he's an odd guy, he's a weird guy, he's a guy who believes in crazy things relative to, you know, the earth and medications and all sorts of crazy. He's just kind of like out there. And so if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I look at this as an opportunity to be shown as a leader, a good teammate. I'm sure that Aaron Rodgers has a PR team of at least 6 people when it comes to individual publicists and marketers and people who try to cure his brand. And so, you know, but I would say that it's probably unlikely that he won't say or do something that he gets criticized for. I think he will. I think he will. I think because I think that in the end, he doesn't care. He's the guy who thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And I don't think he's the guy who cares that much about what people think, except maybe like deep down at night when he's talking, or when he's talking to his therapist. Maybe he admits it then, you know. Why does the world hate me?
So you're not big on hallucinogens? You weren't on hallucinogens for the last couple of days with 3 kids in the house?
No. So what would be a hallucinogen? Like LSD?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's
I mean,
stuff that they took in the
or
1960s?
mushrooms or something, I guess, right?
I've never tried that stuff.
Me neither.
I'm assuming you have. Come on, Big
No.
You've never done LSD or mushrooms.
Weed is the farthest I've gone. Drinking.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I would never do it. I ever since I was young, I heard the word LSD. I had a guy in my classroom. I remember, I'm not gonna say his name, but in 9th and in 10th grade, he would break up rare 714s, or lemons, they were called also, and he would break them up and sniff them in class. And for me, every time I heard the word, you know, LSD or heroin or whatever, that shit scared the shit out of me. Like, I'm not. There was no interest in any of that.
Do you think that alcohol is a more destructive drug than marijuana?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
And
God,
do you
it's not
think
even
that?
close.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not even close.
I think we're at a point now where NFL players can basically use some marijuana.
Why shouldn't they?
Without even getting like suspended, right?
They should. It should
Yeah.
be legal. The problem is it's not legal yet in the NFL because it's not legal yet in every state. So until it becomes legal in every NFL becomes recreational in every NFL state, the NFL and the players union can't say, "Hey, guys, smoke up, Johnny." You know, they can't tell you that, because then they would be telling you to do illegal things in certain states. And so it's really out of the NFL's control. Now, is the NFL policing it as hard as they used to? Probably not. The NBA, we know, doesn't police it at all. Hasn't policed it in, God, I don't know how long. But the NBA is way more progressive than the rest of the leagues. But yeah, by now, if you haven't figured out that alcohol is 1,000 times worse than weed, it's hard.
Do you
to
think there's any, this is just random, but do you think there's any chance that marijuana use, for example, could impact a person's decision-making? And what I mean by that, I'm going to jump over to John Morant, for example. I have no idea if John Morant smokes a lot of marijuana, but do you think it's possible that his decisions could be impacted by, marijuana, for example? I don't know.
I think I think when you're stupid, you're just stupid.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think that's
you do-
true.
And if you do marijuana, then you might be a little bit more stupid at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just kind of, you either, brother, you did the gun thing a month and a half ago. You were sitting in front of the commissioner telling him you'll never do it again. And then you do it again. I'm not blaming it on weed. I'm just not, dude. At one point or another, I got to look at the individual and say, yo, you're on your own, bro. You know what I mean? And if you're playing the game under the influence, yeah, it could affect your decision making. Sure. But I don't think you should be getting high before you go play football or basketball or baseball or whatever it is you're doing. If it's something like really important, I'm not saying somebody that's working at a record store. Maybe you could do your job high at a record store. I don't know. But, if it's something like the NFL or basketball where you got to think really quick, I don't know. Weed doesn't sound like the right one that helps you think quickly. You know what I'm saying?
So I had this wisdom tooth surgery 3 weeks ago. It's finally feeling a little better. Like wisdom teeth can bang you up. But
yes.
How it relates to football is the young surgeon, and this guy, he looked like he was like 16 years old, and he did a good job. I'm not suggesting that a young surgeon can't be a good surgeon.
So you didn't give him an A?
Would you rather have a surgeon?
You didn't give your surgeon an A, did you?
No. I'm tough on my wisdom tooth surgeons. Sometimes I'd rather have a young doctor because I feel like they know all the latest techniques and methods and procedures. But anyway, he gave me Toradol, and I thought, this sounds familiar. So Toradol, so I start to do the research. This is the pain med that was banned by the NFL because players were popping it before the games as a preventative measure for pain and injury. But it turns out that it's really just a very high dose of Advil. And it's non-addictive. It's not a narcotic. So it's just interesting. It kind of ties into the marijuana thing where folks think that marijuana is a better solution for pain management and pain relief than some of these pills.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything to your liver, bro. All those
liver,
pills.
Right, liver and kidney.
Oh, my God, your livers and your kidneys, all those pills. That's terrible. I stay away from pain pills, dude.
I was taking so much Toradol and Advil and Tylenol that at the 2-week mark, my stomach, I felt like I had a hole in my stomach. And so I had to just stop. I just stopped taking all that pain stuff.
I recently had a procedure that I was in major pain. And that first night I took, they gave me a whole bottle of painkillers, but I took only one of them that night. And I left the rest of the bottle because I try to stay away from that shit as much as possible. I'd rather
the narcotics are very easily addictive.
Yeah, bro. No, I'm not worried about the addiction part because I'm not going to get addicted to it. I'm just worried about my body. Like, I treat it bad enough as it is through drive-thrus. I'm not going to add those serious drugs to it too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's all good. I'm going to stay away from that. So
this is going to be possibly the hottest training camp in Dolphins history. When you think about it, every day is the world's hottest day on history.
Yeah.
And so.
And next year will be hotter. And the year after that will be hotter. And it's just kind of where we're going, unfortunately. It's kind of the same shit that every time you see a flood, like in Vermont or in Buffalo or up there in New York where it happened, and they tell you, oh, this is a 1 in 1,000 storm. You guys are saying that every week. They're saying that in Los Angeles, and they're saying that in Oregon, and they're saying that these floods are happening all the time. And this heat run that we're having, it's just only going to get worse, dude. Come on, it ain't going to get any better.
So the Bills don't come here until January. My question is, do you think it's better for everyone involved that you go ahead and have Bills at Dolphins in January? And then Dolphins at Bills in September, so we avoid the extreme heat and snow? Or are you a fan of the extreme heat affecting the Bills and the snow affecting the Dolphins? Do you like that weather effect?
I'm selfish. Of course, I want it for us. and I don't want it for them. So yeah, in a perfect world, let's have both Buffalo games in September and October. That's kind of the way I would like it perfectly. That way we never go to Buffalo or New York or New England in December. Have them all come here in September and October and suffer in the humidity. Yeah, I would love that.
Josh Allen said he couldn't breathe after one of
game.
the games at Hard Rock Stadium. I
This
want
year.
to ask.
Last year, they were stuck in wind.
So
They
let
were
me
all
ask you,
stuck in wind.
in
Yeah.
all honesty, do you think that the heat is more likely to impact Josh or the cold impact Tua?
Oh no!
He has to
Oh,
show
no.
that he can win a big game in the cold, right?
I'm sorry, you didn't watch it. Buffalo
Which
struggled
one?
in this. Buffalo struggled in the heat and the snow. I'll take it. Our Dolphins were thriving up there. I mean, if Tua plays, they win the playoff game. If Mike McDaniel sticks to the running game in the second game, and if Tyreek hangs on to the damn ball, and if Braylon Sanders knows how to run a goddamn route, they win that game. I saw the Finns perform better than the Bills in the heat and in the snow. So I'm thinking we got some special Dolphins here. I'm just saying.
So at Baltimore, December 31st could be a big game. At Baltimore, December 31st.
Oh,
no. And here's the thing. And at Washington,
let me
December
tell you
3rd.
why it's a big
Tua
game.
went to Maryland in the offseason last year in the winter to train with his brother in preparation for a game like this, December 31st at Buffalo. Could be a big game for the playoffs.
Did he really need that down by 14 in Buffalo last year? Yes. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Down by 14, Tua said, look at me. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. And it's over. He came back and brought him back, baby. He's, Tua's a man of all weather. Just don't hang on to the damn ball, bro. Get rid of it. That's all I'm asking.
Did you know that Tua Tagovailoa led the National Football League in passer rating on third downs and passer rating in the red zone and pocket passing between the hashes? So those are all amazing between the hashes, right? So
what do I call?
We do have to admit
what do I call Tua?
He's better between the hashes.
What do I call Tua?
What? Something about being a robot or an assassin?
No, he's a left-handed Joe Montana. He's a money player, bro. He's a money player. You'll see. He just has to be smart and stay on the damn field. The beauty is by now, Joe, nobody can be talking about ability with Tua. There's no more. He's short. His arm's not strong enough. He can't run a powerful offense. This, that, whatever. He can make all the throws you need in the NFL. He can win for you. He has to stay on the field.
Do you like the adding the weight? So that we clearly added weight. Clearly.
Love it.
So we think that the bigger guy is maybe going to be a little more durable.
Well, think about it. If you're more sturdy here and here, will your neck be able to be more controlled? Of course.
Yeah, but it's not just neck muscles.
But hold on a second. Not also. Then you build up your body. So now you can take a little bit more punishment. Russell Wilson never suffers injuries because, he suffers some injuries, but he stays on the field because he's very durable. He's in incredible shape. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I give Tua a lot of credit that he sees what's wrong and then he attacks it and he gets better at it from trying to, technique with judo and learning how to fall to then building your body up. That's all he can do at this point. Outside of that, the next thing is get rid of the ball, kid. Don't hang on to it for 4 or 5 seconds, and you'll be all right.
And we hope that new NFL concussion helmet helps. We hope that helps. I like that he led the NFL. I like that he led the NFL in passer rating, and yet there's still national skepticism. I like that fuel, that motivation. Same thing about the Dolphins. I mean, they made the playoffs, but it's kind of like, they weren't really that good. So I like Mike Daniel can use all of this, and so can Tua.
Oh, and he takes receipts, and he listens to all of it. So that's what motivates him. Also, he's just like a lot of the great players that use little things to motivate them. They'll tell you they don't, but deep down inside, they want to hear that they can't do that. They want to hear that they're not good enough. They love hearing that, and they love proving people wrong. And I think Tua behind the scenes loves proving people wrong. He doesn't sometimes he'll rub it in. Sometimes he'll rub it in with, in certain press conferences and things like that. Like that one time where he says, I was on the money or whatever, when he came out on the podium and all that. So he'll do it every once in a while, but there's no doubt he pays attention
Before we go, I
to
want
what
to show
people
you
are
one
saying.
thing. So I'm on the microphone, but I want to go get.
Okay.
Show you if I have
Okay, go ahead. No problem. All right, Joe Shad. Remember, you can follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. And more importantly, subscribe to the Palm Beach Post and support my man, Joe Shad. He wants to add a jacuzzi now that he added the pool. So support my man, Joe Shad, so he can add a jacuzzi. Plus, we want to get a chiller for the pool, too, now. So for you pool people out there, if you want to partially sponsor a Joe Shad segment and do a pool chiller, now you got to be a good installer of pool chillers. Because he's got to be, he's a hard grader, so you got to be really good so you can give him an A. Okay.
So this is my daughter's favorite mug, and I like it. I like it as well. So this is the Salty Tua coffee mug, and I use this, and sometimes I think about how much I like Salty Tua.
Yeah,
it's available on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll get Salty Tua, and Salty Tua is good. It's good because he's so cool about everything else, and he handles all the adversity the right way, and he always says the right things, and he knows that he's also giving you the company line. That's the best part about Tua. He even admits that he'll give you the company line. He did it last year in a press conference, which I loved. But every once in a while, you want him to go off that normal path of his and kind of, get a little salty.
I mean, I'll admit that it's not easy to be a quarterback in the NFL when it comes to the balance between, wow, he's so transparent and genuine and honest, versus, oh, he's too honest. He shouldn't have revealed that. Like when the thing about the playbook.
Yeah, but see, here's the funny part about it is, then Tyreek Hill tells you, I didn't know the playbook either. And then nobody says anything.
Well, it's always different. The quarterback is always different.
And Tua is also a lightning rod. But here's the thing, Joe. If you've covered the league long enough, and you have, bro, go talk to rookies. Most of them will tell you they don't know the playbook inside out.
Eric Izukama now knows the playbook.
Right.
And, in the near future, before I go, I just want to tell you, I'm going to be posting something in the near future about the top position battles to watch at training camp. And the number 3 receiver is very interesting to me. Is it Robbie Chosen? Yeah.
I think you should do a story. Go talk to Teron Armstead. Go talk to all the veterans that are established and get honesty out of them on how lost you were the first year, on how lost you were remembering what you fundamentally had to remember on how to run a route or set up a block or throw a pass, because they taught you how to do it fundamentally, but then you also have to read and react to what's everything else is going on. So you've got to then position yourself right, set the person up right, whatever it is, and then make the right play and make the right decision in a split moment. And I bet you'd get some funny ass stories from some of the guys, because most guys, if they're honest, they'll tell you about the nightmarish first or second year of them in the league, on how they were lost with terminology or figuring things out and what to do, and how they would constantly have to ask one of their teammates, what am I supposed to do here? People, I don't think, realize how common that is.
Well, Tua should be better than ever. I mean, let's be honest.
I'm not worried about
I'm saying it's his 4th year in the league. It's his 2nd year in the system. He has the best receiver in the NFL. He has one of the top 5 additional wide receivers in the NFL. He has a coach and quarterback coach who all believe in him, support him publicly. I mean, this is like the ideal situation. So he should absolutely be.
But I'm talking about Izukama last year. I'm talking about Channing Tindall last year. There's a reason why those kids shined in the preseason. They didn't have to think. But you get the regular season, now you got to think, dude. And now you fall behind. And even Tyreek said it last year when he came into the playbook. He didn't know it all. He didn't know exactly what route he was supposed to run all the time. And I think we were just, like always, typical of Tua. Everything with Tua is blown out of just absolute proportions that it's just ridiculous.
Well,
And
I
that was
mean,
what-
it does make it interesting, so that's good. I think interesting is much better than boring, and this Dolphins team will not be boring,
No.
and that is very good for me and you and those around us.
No doubt. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. Please subscribe to the Palm Beach Post like I and many others do and support him and all the terrific writers there. Joe, as always, thank you, my friend. We will catch up next week. Enjoy your weekend.
See you, bud.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great Joe Shad. There we go. And by the way, when we talk about essential moving experts, let me just make sure you know that Sean Williams and the boys are awesome. They do everything: long moving services, short moving services, home moving services, office relocation, all of that, folks. Please call my guy, Sean Williams. Great people, great passion. They work the entire country, so it doesn't matter where you're listening to me. If you want to move within the state, within a county, across the county, across the state, across the country, they can do it all for you, man. So please call them. They will take care of you. 386-213-4054. That's 386-213-4054 for essentialmovingexperts.com.
You've been listening to the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking for local home, long moving services, or office relocation, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Miami Dolphins fans, follow Big O Radio Show on all platforms to keep up with your favorite NFL team.
Times in with a super chat. And remember, folks, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And remember, we love Bitcoin donations there on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Noel Doubt sends one in on Super Chat, and he says, just because the show is awesome and I enjoy it every day, thanks, Sean, and everybody in the chat for the whole experience. Thank you, Noel Doubt. Appreciate you, my brother. Very nice of you. Sean, we got anything going on?
Yes, sources on Rodolfo Pizarro. Looks like Pizarro and Miami CBF have agreed on a mutual contract termination that will free up a DP spot for Lionel Messi. Pizarro is now free to join a club outside of MLS. That club appears to be Greek side AEK. Hopefully I said that properly.
Okay. Dying to take my wife to Greece.
And then Alex Winley posts today's media scrum. Looks a little different than when we were there, huh?
Wait a minute. Hold on. There it is.
Oh.
There it is. Yeah.
A lot different.
Yeah, a lot different. Yeah. You would figure it's going to be a absolute crazy show.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse because that's just Joseph Martinez right there. That's not anything. And also, guess what? Beckham sighting. He is at practice.
Shocker.
He's there. And then the last thing is Tampa Bay. They're going to wear the creamsicles week 6 against the Lions.
So it's week 6 when they're going to do it. Okay, cool. I like it. I like it, baby. Yeah. Wear them creamsicles. That's one of my favorite logos of all time. That logo is fantastic. Wow, they're playing Cerrone. Wow. Supernature. Oh, man. Damn, I'm thinking Alexander's. I'm thinking Casanova. I'm thinking Mystique. Thinking, damn, it's throwing me back. Let's see. Big O is our Insiders Coming training camp on Rookie Day, July 18th. I don't know what that means, Brian. Greece would be a great spot to visit. Scenery and the food is healthy and delightful. I am dying to go to Greece. You're not going there, what? Yeah, no healthy food, right? Loading up.
Did you Slurpee yesterday?
I did not get a Slurpee. Did not get a Slurpee. Because then I would have to cheat and get the Coke Slurpee. And
I got. See, nobody else in the family likes it, so we all win. I got the cherry, I got a Coke, and then the pina colada, and then I topped it off chili cheese dog.
Damn. Wow. A cheese
Chili
dog.
cheese dogs on sale.
Did you see that video of that car spitting out that black stuff? Go look at my timeline and pull up pull up my answer to it. I want you to check it out there, or just go look at it and see what the guy was asking. What does this and all that, and just pull it up and show everybody there. Or you can show them the tweet. They need to see it. They need to know. Red says Tua's a great kid. He's handled everything like a pro. Hope he can be the guy to bring us a title. He's going to bring a title, bro. He's going to bring a title. I have no doubt in my mind. I just need him to get rid of the ball. That's all I'm asking. Don't hang on to it for 4 or 5 seconds anymore, kid. Please make your decision in 2.5 seconds. God, if you got to go to 3, fine, but get rid of the damn ball. Do not hold it for another second or two and go into 4 or 5 seconds. You are just asking for dislocated hips, busted up ankles, concussions. That's what you're asking for, because that's what happens when he holds it for 4 to 5 seconds. He does that, and sky's the limit, man. I'm not kidding you when I tell you he's a left-handed Montana. He's a money player. He's proven that over and over and over again over his career. He's just now got to prove to people that he can make the right decisions to stay healthy and stay on the field. It's durability, it's availability. That's the only thing we're talking about with Tua Tagovailoa. If anybody at this point tells you he can't play or he can't throw or whatever, that person's just dumb. They don't know football. They don't know what they're watching. They have no idea. And maybe they were already wrong about Tua, so they'll do anything to try to be right, and try to convince themselves. So by now, it's just a matter of, stay healthy, bro. Stay on the field. Let's see. Grease is too slippery. I don't know what that means. Oh, that grease. Because he spelled it like grease. I'm going, wait. Oh, okay. He's talking about the other grease. Sean living dangerously with 7-Eleven hot dog. Yeah. Well, Sean's the guy that can live dangerously. He is a former Marine, paratrooper. That's why he's got one of his knees all busted up from jumping out of planes. So, listen, if he's crazy enough to jump out of planes, then, he's crazy enough to have a 7-Eleven hot dog. That's all I can tell you. Oh, what are your realistic predictions for the Canes and the Finns? Get on board with the doo-doo Cristobal and the Canes going 11-2. By the way, you got to hit up Seabass Hog Barbecue in Jupiter. Okay. If I'm in Jupiter, I will check it out. Seabass Hog Barbecue. Canes are 7-8 wins. Dolphins 12 or 13 and going to the Super Bowl. You got it up? So somebody put up a tweet, and they showed this car. And the car is, as you can see, is just oozing out like this black stuff. Like it's some tar or something. Right? And as you can tell there, the guy is asking, hey, what causes this? So I answered back, a hot dog from Dairy Queen's in the Panhandle. So if you were asking me what happened to me for a couple of days after I had that hot dog from the Panhandle from Dairy Queen, this car and me have a lot in common. Okay? I mean, a ton in common. Was this you yesterday after that 7-Eleven dog? Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
No, I just did it. I did like an extra 15 steps yesterday. Worked off the dog.
I like it. Okay. So the NBA is going to penalize flopping. I do love that because there is flopping going on. It does piss me off.
The only thing, though, that I don't like about it is it's still going to be a judgment call. What's going to be I mean, I know you can look at it at home and go, that was a flop.
Yeah.
But officials don't see it now. What's going to change?
Well, no, because sometimes they see it in the review of whatever.
Are they going to
penalty.
review every one now?
No, but maybe they're reviewing the foul and then they realize it's not a foul, it's a flop. You've seen that, right?
No,
Where you thought the guy got hit.
Yeah, I saw it in the finals. They switched the call against Butler.
Right, and they acted, and he acted like he got hit, and so then that'll be a flop. Because now you're selling it and you're lying to the official. So now that could be after the fact, that could be a flop and a fine that comes with it. And by the way, as you continue to flop, you get fined more. So it might deter people to do it.
It may, but it doesn't.
And
change.
it does embarrass you because now officially you've been called a flopper.
But doesn't that take away from the art of the game? The art of the game is to trick the official to give you the call. And now after the fact, you didn't get the call, so you tricked the official. Now the NBA is going to be like, well, we went back and reviewed it, and that was a flop. Here you go.
But before Vlade Divac, who is patient zero, I've always said this for many, many years. Vlade Divac was patient zero. He brought flopping over from Europe. When we started to become an NBA league that had a lot of European players and starting to come, Vlade was part of that first wave of players that were really coming from Europe, and he brought flopping from soccer over. And since then, and then that's why, where before you fooled them, but you fooled them because you didn't even try to fool them. They got fooled. Now you're purposely trying to fool them. Now you're staging it. Now you're acting. And so then that's why it becomes egregious, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm trying to reason.
No, I agree. My whole thing is like, it feels like with, for instance, in Major League Baseball, the catcher always tries to frame the pitch. There might be a little bit outside. Boom, you frame it. If you get the call, you got it. If not, so to me, it's become part of. They've allowed it to become so much part of the game that now people have actually made careers off of flopping.
Right. But flopping wasn't part of the game.
No, it was not. 100%.
Whereas you getting somebody to pump up in the air and you get your body into them, that's or bringing the pitch inside to try to dress it up a little better. That was part of the game. That's the gamesmanship of it. But once you start, like, you're trying to lie to them, you're trying to, create something that didn't happen. I guess that's why it gets to that point. Well, we'll see.
I know they've instituted it during Summer League, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, it happened in the first.
Let's institute it against the guys that can't pay the fines.
I think it happened in the first Heat game of the Summer League. I want to say that they called somebody for flopping. Yeah, they're calling it. Yeah, I don't think you get the fine. Yeah, no, not in the Summer League. No. Yeah, in the Summer League, they can't fine you that much money because there ain't much money in the Summer League period. Chip Taylor says, proving it over and over and over. LOL, exaggerated much. Live in San Francisco, San Diego. Yes, Tua's good, even very good. But your take on Montana? Well, I think he's that guy. I'm not saying that he's going to win 4 championships. I'm telling you, he's a money player. Okay? And coming off the bench and winning a national championship, that's a Montana-like move. Coming back from 14 points down in Baltimore, that's Montana-like. Okay? He's a money player. I get it. Everybody always, when you make comparisons, they go to certain extremes, and that's fine, bro. I don't expect people to agree with me now. You know what I mean? Listen, Chip Taylor, you must be new to this. Okay? You must be new to this. All right? Here's what happens on this program. Okay? I write an article and I tell you on radio a year and a half before it happens, you should hire Chris Greer to become the general manager and fire Tannenbaum and Gase. And then it happens. Okay? I'm the guy that tells you that Flo is going to get fired in the middle of a winning streak. You think that's not more crazy than saying that Tua is going to be a Joe Montana-like, a clutch player? No. People were saying they were going to trade for Dalvin Cook. I told you they would never trade for Dalvin Cook, and they would never sign Dalvin Cook for big money. There we go. So what we do on this show, we do it a lot. More than everybody else. We told you Messi was coming. They didn't want to believe me. Oh, no, Barcelona's going to get him. No, he's going to go back. Well, guess what? He can't. Okay? It's kind of what we do here on the show. We do it all the damn time. Okay? Ryan Tannehill got drafted. I told you from the get-go he would never be the guy. So I'm not sure if you're just listening, Chip Taylor, but watch yourself. When it comes to predictions, I don't know if there are many people that nail as many predictions as we do on this show. And I'm leaving out several, but I'm just saying, it's just something that happens all the damn time on the show. So don't get too cocky going against me. You might win once in a while, but there's a good chance you're going to lose. Just saying. Everybody was freaking out on me. Flo going to get fired. He's winning. Okay. Anyway, True Fin Fan, thank you for the love in the super chat. LeBron will have to retire if they penalize flops. He does his share of flopping too. You're right. And then he says, I hate floppers. Thanks for nothing, Vladi Divac. Yeah, but by the way, I got to admit, our boy Wade did a lot of flopping too. Okay. I love Wade, but boy, Wade did a lot of flopping also. Paul Holland says, Big O, I've been saying the same thing about Tua being a left-handed Montana, especially with Mike McDaniel running a very similar offense as the 80s San Francisco 49ers. He will be a stud. So, it's all good. Oh, is the flopping worse in soccer than the... Oh, yes. It's the worst in soccer is king. I mean, they
That's where Vladi learned it from.
Yeah, exactly. There's no flopping like there is in soccer. But it's bad in the NBA, and then it's infiltrated the NFL too.
No, it's there's a form of it in almost every sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's like baseball now. You see a lot more trying to lean in with their elbow. They wear the guard on their elbow, and then they lean the elbow over the
right
if they need to. It's there.
Yeah, of course, dude. I only flop. The only flopping I respect is bullfighting. That's a good time to flop. Although then you get stomped. That's not good either. Okay.
Gourd. I need you to read a question real quick.
Oh, where's what? Which
Hold
one?
on. Where? I guess I think you're near there. DL. I want you to read
Big
the
O,
question.
who will senior money in the bank cash in against? Need a prediction if possible. What? Who will senior money in the bank cash?
I believe what has happened here.
What the hell is that?
Is they heard about your AEW prediction, and I think they think you know wrestling a little bit. Senior Money in the Bank is Damian Priest, who won the Money in the Bank, which you called.
Okay.
And so now he has the Money in the Bank briefcase, and now he can cash in on any title.
Oh.
That he wants to at any time, too. By the way, the champion can have a match, get beat down, left laying. He can come in, cash it in, and win the belt. So that was where I read that. I was like, the DL must have heard the AEW, what you did with the AEW pick of the week, and thought the wrestling thing or somewhere around there. And I found it funny because I knew when you were reading that, you're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. DL's got to know I don't know anything, but I mean, he's got to know. I have no idea. You got me. Oh, you know what? I think he's going to take one of the women's championships. That's what he's going to do. There you go. That's my prediction right there. Okay? That's my prediction right there. Oh, like that tenured professor opening expertly on everything related to sports and life in general. Once in a while, Chip. Once in a while. Wade flops so much, I even see him flopping in the game show The Cube. I heard that show is an entire flop. Tony says, don't mess with the Sportstradamus, Chip Taylor.
I think it has as many views as AEW Collision.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
That's it. The Sportstradamus. It's in. Oh, man. I feel drunk reading that question. Yeah, so did I. I'm pretty much drunk right now. Damian Priest is a mix of Damian Lillard and Priest Holmes. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Frankie Fresco says, be nice, Sean. Oh, man, too much. Too much. By the way, I see this story, and let me pull it up. It's I mean, there's really not a lot of substance to this story, but I still found it like disturbing and twisted in a way because it's just something that doesn't make any sense to me. So, you know who Jalen Kitna is? John Kitna's son that was cut from the Gators? Okay, so you know why he was cut, right? Child porn. So apparently, less than a week after child pornography charges were dropped against him, doesn't mean he didn't have the child porn with him, by the way, okay? He has now entered a transfer portal, according to multiple reports. So I'm just wondering, like, what school is going to pick up Jalen Kitna? Like, you had the guts to like enter a transfer portal? I'm sorry. Is the Mean Machine part of college football now? Is it? Is the Mean Machine part of it? I mean, the Mean Machine might take them.
Yeah, the Mean Machine would take. Well, they probably have to. I think a lot of people, volunteering.
No, think about it.
Play
He's the
football.
only one not serving on the team. I mean,
True. But who were you? Oh, you
like,
and Manny
who's
were
going to bring that? Who's like you entered the transfer portal thinking somebody's going to pick you up?
Yeah, but somebody's. I can't remember what his stats were. I believe he was like a blue chip recruit. I mean, again, somebody's going to do it in this day and age in the transfer portal.
Not child porn. No.
Even with them dismissed and dropped.
If you read the story,
I didn't read the story.
It's like a technicality, bro. He had the pictures. He shared the pictures, and then he got off on a technicality.
Okay, then okay. So
it's just one of those things. Like, I was thinking, people, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Sometimes you get off on a technicality. Doesn't mean you're not guilty. But the gall of him to enter the transfer portal, because there's no way anybody picks him up.
No, not with that.
Are you kidding me? The media will have a field day. What coach is going to explain, no. Well, he got off on a technicality on the child pornography charges. So, he's kind of all right. Really?
Yeah.
No.
You're not going to do there.
No, it's not going to fly. I saw it, and it's like.
I didn't read the story, so I didn't know that. I just know the charges got dismissed or whatever it was.
Bro,
but
go change your face, get new plastic surgery, and then move to another country that started to play football.
There you go.
And maybe you can play there or something. I don't
Come back as part of the NFL expansion when they go there.
Yes.
But yesterday you and Manny were talking about a player, and you're like, there's no way.
Change your name to Jose Quintana.
That they're keeping him on the team. And I'm trying to remember who it was yesterday. I was looking at the notes trying to figure out who it was. Yesterday, you and Manny were talking about somebody during the Canes segment. I don't believe it was the Canes. It was another player or something about when you guys went into the 5 stars and 4 stars.
Right.
And you're like, well, why don't they just let them go? Or why do they keep them on the team? And I think nowadays a lot of players are staying on the team, even when they do bad things, because they know that as soon as they cut them and put them in the transfer portal, somebody else is going to pick up that guy. I think that's changed a lot in college football with coaches making, decisions as far as
if you don't fit, you're gone.
Yeah. I mean, both ways too, because if they don't fit, they're just going to cut them anyways. But if they are a big, a blue chip recruit and they do something wrong, it's like, let's see how this plays out before we just.
Definitely.
Unless it's a clear and cut, Ray Rice, you're seeing the video type thing.
But I saw that story, and I was like,
I didn't know it was just like a technicality.
Yeah, it was, bro. You read it, and there's no way that guy did not was, he was not part of it. You know what I mean? As a plea deal, Kitna does not face jail time and will not register as a sex offender, but is on probation for a year. Kitna shared 2 images of young girls being sexually abused via social media and later said they had found 3 more images on his phones, 2 nude girls in a shower. In a court on July 5th, Kitna apologized to family, friends, and people that care about him. The University of Florida banned Kitna from the campus. And so, that's kind of where they go with it. But it's, again, a technicality, a first-time offender, all that kind of stuff. So you get out with a plea deal, and it's like, yeah, dude, I'm not. I just, no way. No soda, no popcorn, no nothing. Actually, we walked into the movie and left, and then we went and ate at Duffy's. Actually, I like their chicken quesadilla. They do a nice job with their chicken quesadilla at Duffy's. So no, nothing at the theater. We just paid, what was it, $6.50? So it was a reasonable price. Afternoon, Tuesdays, cheap. Let's see. Eubanks about to upset the number 3 in the world of tennis. Let's go. Wow, you're watching tennis, huh? Yeah, and the American woman lost yesterday. What's her name? She lost to some woman with Kurosadova or something. I forgot the name. But all I can tell you about that woman is she had the worst tats I've ever seen in my life. I watched that one. She was like, the American was the 4th seed yesterday. And that poor girl looked like she got tats in a prison. Seriously. Like in today's world, there's a lot of tattoo places that they do a really good job. You got to, I don't know, check it out for me if you can. But if you want, just look at her, whoever, I forgot her name now because it's just one long name, Kurosadova or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. But she beat an American. And I believe the American was a 4 seed. And the one thing that I walked away from that match was she had the worst and cheapest looking tattoos I've ever seen in my life. They were like tattoos you make in jail, where you don't have a lot of colors and a lot of, style. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Seriously, you got to see it. If you can see pictures of her, she's moved on, so she's obviously in the next round. Worst tattoos I've ever seen in my life. And she's got them all over her arm and all that kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, some cheesy ass tattoos. That's what stood out to me yesterday when watching a little tennis. So yeah, Frankie, not many of us watch tennis. Not many of us even care about tennis, actually. Yeah, you definitely watch everything, Frankie. Good for you, bro. Time for strawberries and cream. Okay. You having sex, Rosendo? Kitna got a sweetheart plea deal. Geez, none of us would get that for possession of. I know it's that's, and not only did he get away with it, now he wants somebody to pick him up on the transfer portal. That part is just absolutely amazing. So, did you see Mark Cuban address Kyrie yesterday? Yeah. So he used one specific word to describe Kyrie Irving. No, it's not crazy. That's an accurate one. But, he said that, we traded for Kyrie because we wanted him to be a long-term piece for the team. But he also said that Kyrie Irving is misunderstood. Oh, my God. And you listen, Mark Cuban, I get it, my brother. You had to give him a 3-year, $126 million contract. So you need to justify your incredible stupidity one way or another. But we all understand, not misunderstand Kyrie Irving. We all understand that he's lazy. We all understand that he's soft. We all understand that he couldn't lead anything. Okay, he couldn't lead a row of ducks to a lake. Okay, he couldn't do anything as a leader. We also know that he's crazy. We understand when he says the world is flat. You know what I'm saying? He is not misunderstood in any way, shape, or form. Okay? You just got to try to use some kind of ignorant reasoning to justify the incredible stupidity that you showed by signing and by trading for Kyrie Irving and by thinking that it was going to work out for you. And the fact that he joined your team and you went completely downhill, that didn't send a signal. All you did was re-sign him because you gave away so much. You have to try to now justify the move instead of maybe just calling, take your losses right there and then and say, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. And moving forward would not be a good idea. That's like basically that's like basically, I don't know, banging Larsa Pippen and then actually marrying her. Okay, so you were already crazy enough to have sex with Larsa Pippen. If you get her pregnant, you're going to be trapped like a Venus flytrap for 18 years. You're going to be giving up a lot of money. But no, now you've decided to plant a flag here and stay here as a home. Yeah, that's not very smart. Kind of the same thing. Like, misunderstood. No, there's nothing about Kyrie Irving that is misunderstood. We know exactly where that loser is coming from. Okay? And I get it. People across the league, and you hear the talking heads, and they got to try to justify everything with him because of his incredible talent. But it gets to a point, and the examples are endless now with him, that he does not fit, not a good leader, and not a guy you use to win. He won with LeBron. You had your suspension there with Golden State. It opened up the door. He hit a nice shot. It's over. That was the perfect scenario. You're not going to win with Trent Dilfer. But if you happen to have the Tampa Bay Bucks of 2001, then you will. Or 03, right? What was it? 01 was the Ravens? There we go. Okay, so you're 01 Ravens. 03 Bucks was Brad Johnson. Yeah, that's how you'll win the Super Bowl, with a monster team. But normally you're not going to win anything with those guys. And you're not going to win anything with Kyrie Irving. So you can tell me all you want how he is misunderstood. That to me is absolutely hilarious. Birthdays today in entertainment, in music. Let's go. July 12th. Not a huge list, but there are a couple of people that are known. Brock Lesnar is 46 years old today. Michelle Rodriguez, the actress, is 45. James Rodriguez, Jaime Rodriguez is how I should say, the futbolista, is 32 years old. Sami Zayn, wrestler, is 39. Okay, you're shaking your head, so he is a known wrestler. Okay. Topher Grace, that 70s show, he is 45 years old. Charlie Murphy, rest in peace. He passed away in 2017, but he was born on this date in 1959. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, basketball player, 25 years old. Eric Carr, former drummer of Kiss. We lost him sadly at a very young age in 91. He was born in 1950. Lost him at 41 years old, dude. Way too soon. Eric Carr might still be Kiss's drummer to this day. They loved Eric Carr, man. They did. Richard Simmons is 75 today. And everybody's favorite father, with John Kitna-like habits, Bill Cosby is 86. Oh, I'm sorry. Jalen Kitna. Sorry, John. Sorry. I meant to insult your son, not you. Sorry. Apologies there. All right. So you got that going on. And by the way, Ozzy has stepped down from the Power Trip Festival. Judas Priest is going to step in. So it's a nice replacement and a better replacement at this point because poor Ozzy, he's just not there physically anymore, man. Hunter is asking me, do you remember what was the song you played as a kid to silence the noise of your parents? Bay City Rollers kicking out the 45. Saturday. Night. Saturday. Night. I remember that 45 cranking that bitch up a lot. Grabbing the little plastic thing, putting it in the middle of the 45, and putting it on the record player, swinging over the leg, sliding over the kick, watch it come over, click, knock it down, play, make sure you had it on 45. Very important. So I am going to go. What happened to Peter Criss? Troy, do you follow? They broke up years ago. They brought him back for a reunion tour in like 96 or something. But Eric Carr is the one that replaced him. Okay? Now it's Eric Singer is the drummer. But you don't get the singer if Carr is still around. If Carr is still around, I believe he's still Kiss's drummer to this day. I truly believe that. They loved Eric Carr. They were huge Eric Carr fans. They got rid of Ace and what's it called? God, I just brain farted with his name. But anyway, they got rid of Peter Criss and Ace Frehley years ago. I think it was all substance abuse for both of them. I think they had drinking issues and things like that. And so, yeah. But I believe Carr would still be there if, unfortunately, he didn't pass away. So, Big O, you're losing a lot of people talking about a record player. LOL. There, yeah. Well, not really, right? We aren't the youngins now buying record players? Aren't they doing that now? Aren't they buying records? Yeah, it's not like how it used to be. Yeah. But the record players made a comeback now. A little bit. I got to bring mine back. I have a whole bunch of albums. Yeah, no, it's LPs. Yeah, not 45s or 78s. I know that. That I know. I'm old enough that, 45s, 78s, and 33s. So, yes, I'm old enough for all of that. Am I stoked for the ESPYs tonight? Brother, I haven't seen the ESPYs in like 15 years. I never watched the ESPYs. I may catch a highlight or two or something that somebody says. I never watched the ESPYs.
I got to leave here and go get my platters. I got my platters ordered. I'm ready to go. ESPYs, baby.
I don't watch Oscars. I don't watch ESPYs. I don't watch Emmys. I don't watch Tonys. I don't watch any of that. Golden Globes. I don't watch any of it. I never watch award shows. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. There's one award show that I do watch. What is it, Sean? Right? Okay, you got it. Okay, it's music related. What's the only one that happens every year? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the only one I watch. That's the only award show that I watch. Okay? That's it. I don't even to be quite honest, I don't watch every Hall of Fame speech either. So, gotta love it. Ken is in the house. He is rocking, baby. He's out here with us at Caneswear. Great people, Ken, Jeff, Brett. Great people out here getting it done at Caneswear, as always. So, yeah, that's it. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the only That's the only award show now that I think about it. Now the kid's got a Cure shirt on from the tour from the other night. He's a little kid too. He's like 10 years old. Good for him. Yeah, but maybe they took him to the concert. No? Maybe those are cool parents teaching their kids about the Cure, man. Remember Peaches on 163rd? Hells to the yeah. Downtown Fort Lauderdale? You talk about on Sunrise?
Down by the beach, yeah, on Sunrise. Head toward the beach area there.
I met Motley Crue there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
We skipped school, Hialeah High, and Motley was going to be at Peaches. So we skipped school, and you get out early in school, right? So we all met early, and we took off to Peaches, and we got in line, and we bought Shout at the Devil, and we got them to sign the albums and meet them and all that shit, and it was awesome, dude. It was great. So I remember that. I remember that Peaches on Sunrise. Obviously, I remember the one on 163rd that he's talking about. I went to that one too, and I remember
was
the
that
Peaches.
The only one in Dade? Just like
no. We had
one in Broward,
no. We
or
had
at least by the time I knew about it, that was one of the only.
No, we had one on US 1.
Oh, okay.
Close to Dadeland. If anybody remembers, we had a Peaches down by US 1.
I wonder if there's more in Broward that I didn't know about. Because I wasn't, again, not a huge music fan, but Peaches was like one of those places you just went to just to go to.
Yeah, Peaches and Specs. Yep. Specs was the other one that you would go to religiously. 49th Street, Westland Mall. Since I lived in Hialeah, that was my religion, going to that one. And then obviously we talked about this the other day, yesterday and today was another one that was just like a go-to place here in South Florida. So there you go. Vinyl records are a big deal again, says Ragin. Never got rid of mine. Me neither. First record I owned was Genesis. Lamb's Lie was Eagles Hotel California. Nice. Likes to watch Phoebe Cates in Fast Times. Who doesn't? My first album was Inagata de Vida. Yeah. Little Iron Butterfly. That song's like 12 or 14 minutes long, dude. What's your favorite lunch spot in Davie? Actually, right down the street, man. Right down this mall.
Yeah, buddy.
La Spada, dude.
Yep.
I love La Spada. I mean, there's a lot of times I leave from here, stop at La Spada, and then just drive. My fat ass is driving home, hand on wheel, and then the other hand with a sub in my face.
There is not a time I don't leave here where I don't go to La Spada.
Oh, my God. I love La Spada, man. Oh, so good, man. So good. La Spada is the only lunch spot or Mission Barbecue. Oh, yeah. Isn't that the place right here? That's Mission Barbecue. I've been there. Have you been there? They're good. Oh, it was the other one. Yeah, but I went to Mission. I went with the wife, and it was really good. In fact, when we came with the wife, we then went and ate over at Mission's Barbecue. And you are correct, sir. Mission Barbecue does a nice job. You are correct. Pat in Nashville says, good that Zach Thomas is giving the first speech at Canton. Finns fans won't have to sit through the two Jets. Oh, is that true? We don't need to film the rest of the shit. I don't care about the rest of the shit. Pat in Nashville just made my Wednesday like, Pat, dude, I love you for.
Pat, I mean, where's this information coming from?
Oh,
Pat?
But he's good. No.
I know that, but does he get the? I know he doesn't do anything like.
I got friends of mine that I call out all the time for Facebook facts.
Pat in Nashville's
not a
facts.
Facebook facts guy.
Where did you get the list so early?
He must have seen the list somewhere there. They must have put it somewhere, man. That is awesome. And you know what? That makes so much sense that we get dissed that way to be the first one, not the last one, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, if that happens, that is so good. Wow. I need a great lunch spot in Canton, by the way, for Saturday. Some tells me I'm going to have some time to enjoy a little extra lunch in Canton. Oh, man. Wow. My God. They got Kenny Rodgers on. But you know what this is? Oh, you don't know what movie this is from. Love will turn you around, turn you around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anybody seen the movie Six Pack? I can watch that movie in a loop. I've seen that movie like 30 times in the history of my life. Whenever I run into it, I just seem to stop and check out check out Kenny and the kids stealing engines and winning races. Hey, yeah, you should watch it. Diane Lane, that's her first movie ever, I believe, or second or something. Like, she's a kid in that movie. Smoking hot, by the way, because she must be like 20 years old or something in that movie. I don't know. Do me a favor. Look up Diane Lane and Six Pack. What year was it? What year was she born? How old was she? I'm going to say she's young, bro. She's like 20. Six Pack, it's called, with Kenny Rodgers. Six Pack. And Diane Lane is in it. So tell me the year and then look at Diane Lane, what year she was born, and then we can figure out. It's an 82 movie, and I'm going to guess she's 20. I'm going to just take a wild guess that she was 20 years old, maybe 19, but I'll go 20. Diane Lane. The incredibly Erin Gray is in that movie. That's Kenny's girlfriend. For those of you that watch Space 1999. Any of you know that movie, Six Pack? And then there's a kid, like Tanner in Bad News Bears. There's a Tanner in that movie, one of the brothers. His name is Shifty, I think, or Swifty, or Swifty, I think it is. I think Kenny calls him Shifty, and it's Swifty or whatever. And that kid's got a mouth on him. It's actually like, I don't know. I kind of find it like an underrated, feel-good movie, type of thing. Yeah, Lane. Yeah. 17. She was a nice-looking young girl there. No, actually, you know what? It's 82. I was born in 66. Right. So we're the same age. She was fine as hell. She's fine as hell. She's a year older than I am. She's cougaring me, so I can say all I want about Diane Lane at 17 because I was 16 when I'm watching the movie. Fine as hell. Super fine. Now, when you watch the movie now, remember, oh, God. Oh, it was Buck Rodgers, not Space 1999. Thank you, Ragin. Appreciate it. I knew it was a space movie. Eric says, used to be this station called MTV that would show music videos back in the 80s and the early 90s around the clock. Those were the days. Yes. 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 In fact, it's funny you brought that up. On YouTube, I ran into Robert Smith hosting 120 Minutes, and I saved it. I haven't watched it yet, but I am going to watch it. I'm literally going to watch it over the weekend. It won't take me 120 minutes. That's the beauty of it, because I'll be able to speed through a lot of things. But I am going to watch it. I am looking forward to that, which is funny. Anyway. She played Colonel Wilma Deering. Yes, there you go. Beautiful woman, great eyes. Erin Gray's eyes were like something that would be mesmerizing, is what I would say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up on the show. We thank Matt Verderam. We thank Joe Shad. As always, we thank the great Sean Stanley, the man that masters his entire program. And by the way, in platform, and if you missed the wrestling content, well, it was on last night for 2 hours. You can go back and check it out. Audio, video, it's all there. Frankie and Sean breaking it all down and getting it done. Sean Stanley loves his wrestling. And Frankie is also a wrestling foo. These two are wrestling nuts. So if you want to enjoy and talk and learn about wrestling, make sure you check it out also on the platform. They do it every Tuesday night. Check them out and subscribe to the platform. We thank Brett. We thank Jeff, Ken, all the great people out here at Caneswear. Remember, newest backpack out. Spray ground. The kids know about Spray Ground. They know that Spray Ground is like the bomb of backpacks. So come on out, check it out. Check out the newest hats, all of that. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. And remember, when you go online, you order over $99, you will get free shipping. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. at Hialeah Park. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show. This is the